Hey everyone, Anthony here, Not Cool in High School podcast. Tonight is a very heavy news show, so we're going to cover a lot of topics, not really get into what we're into or what we watched this week. So if that is something you look forward to, that is not going to be here. Before we get any further into some of the topics and highlighting some of them, is go over and check us out on Teespring. If you go over to Facebook, there is a Shop Now button, and we do have some links below that you can go check out. We got our first brand new logo for the show, so if you want to grab some new merch or even get some of the older stuff, now is the time to do it. From now till Sunday the 3rd, use offer code SHIP, that's SHIP, for free shipping. And we did hit our goal for this week's thing, so we do have a really, really big sale coming up for you guys, which is going to start immediately after that. So stay tuned for news for a big deal coming up or a new sale if you want to do that as well. But new merchandise, so anything you guys obviously get helps us grow, and it lets people know about the show, as well as gets us closer to that brand new laptop that we can do our cool live streams, because we have so many cool ideas. We're just kind of held back due to technology. But yeah, we're going to talk about towards the end of the show is going to be very heavy on the Marvel movie setbacks, and we kind of do some fan casting and everything. We talk about Call of Duty, Fortnite, Animal Crossings once again. That's a big thing for us. Last of Us Part 2, WWE Battlegrounds, and the new Goosebumps series. So hope you guys really like it, and we'll see you on the other side of the music. Here's some look. So we're gonna wing it.
Yeah,
all right.
It was a hell of a thing yesterday.
Yeah. I've been with many people in grocery stores for 2 months.
Yeah,
I ain't getting it.
Hey everyone, Anthony, Not Cool in High School. We got some people around the table this time, so it's nice to see faces. We all made out a little bit before the show started, just to really make sure we don't get corona.
We're bringing our own staggered reopening of the show cast.
Yeah. Governor Wolf said that we need people back at the table because some people's audio is atrocious. No, and then we have Bree on the phone.
Hello.
And Matt is back from the dead.
Yeah, very much close to that.
So did you ever figure out what was going on with you? Did you have Rona? What was going on?
Well, see, so I can actually fully educate everybody that's wondering about the process of getting tested around here, because I learned the hard way. So I suspected that I might have it because a lot of the I got to take out one of my headphones because I'm echoing. So it was expected that I might have it because I was showing a lot of the same symptoms. So I tried to get tested, and it was early on, and they said that it was a 10-day wait unless you've been exposed, then call us back. So I called back because I found out I had been exposed. 2 people that I knew had gotten it, and I was just with them 2 weeks before. So then they said, well, are you showing improvements in your symptoms? And I said, yeah. They said, well, testing is so limited, and because your age range, we're not going to test you. So it was a 10-day wait, and then they said they're not going to test me. So
real quick, my mom has been exposed 4 times at her job.
Yeah.
Her job refused to even stop production to clean. Then she got sick,
God.
and she went and got tested, and they're like, no, you're good. Go back to work.
How about it?
Like,
yeah, and unfortunately, we didn't have the antibody test until just a few days ago, so she could have had it, and tested negative if it was out of our system already.
I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but I feel that they're at the point now where I feel like if you're getting tested late in the game here, or like in the last week or two, they're just saying you're fine because they want to reopen stuff. I think too many rich people are not making money and they want stuff back open.
I believe that.
I think they're definitely trying to reopen. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I think the testing was so limited that they were using shitty testing.
Yeah, I see that.
That I do think, because they were hitting up. I actually talked to the one lady a few times, and then she finally opened up to me, and she's like, "Listen, we've had to use private companies for testing because we're a small, poor area, and Hazleton is having a huge outbreak, so they're the ones getting all the tests." So they only had so many of the real good testing. Now they have antibody tests. They got them a few days ago, and that can tell you if you ever had corona. So now next month I have to go and get an antibodies test. But for a long time they wouldn't test me, but the argument against me having corona is I did have pneumonia and strep throat around the same time last year, and I had pneumonia the year before that. And as I'm starting to get better, it feels a lot like it did towards the end with the pneumonia. Like when I take deep breaths, I start coughing and I was having lung pain, and that's exactly what I went through last year. So it could have just been bad timing, but
we need to get you a bubble.
Yeah, I know. Who knows, man?
All right. So we're gonna jump right into some topics here. I did talk about during the intro. This is me reminding myself when I do record the intro. So spoiler alert, I recorded after the show. We do have some new stuff on our merch page.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah,
the intro. Wait, what?
The new T-shirts out, the NCIHS Power shirt, because we can't say it's the Nintendo Power.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
The NC Power.
The NC Power, the not cool in high school Power shirt. It is really cool. It looks very similar to some stuff you may have seen before. It's our new logo spoof. Really happy with it. Pro tip: get it in gray. It looks really good in gray. It looks like an old school
Pops.
Yeah, an old school system, we'll say. So that's out there. The new podcast that we're doing for the Washington Redskins has been doing fantastic.
And what's the name of that one?
Bros on the Warpath. Doing really good. I'm very surprised at how well it's doing. It's actually one of the most listened to shows on the network right now. And it's
cool.
only 2 episodes
Yeah, wow.
in.
That's great.
I'm kind of figuring out how to use Twitter. And it's very easy to get niche, I guess you could say, on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I've really been hitting it hard with Twitter and getting a lot of responses. I think we're like we're pushing like 150 followers already on Twitter,
Really? Cool.
which is not super easy to do if you're not famous. I'm coming to find out. Like getting a lot likes on Facebook is kind of easy.
Yeah.
because Facebook makes it easier that way. Where Twitter is like people don't really. It seems like people don't give a shit about other actual humans on Twitter. It's more or less like a network to talk to celebrities.
Yeah, follow the celebrity.
Yeah.
Follow the business.
I have people that have thousands of friends on Facebook, and they have like 30 Twitter followers. That's why I don't even bother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have Twitter.
But I'll tell you what, the what we're doing with the Redskins Twitter is crazy. Like
Really?
the Twitter universe really. They follow each other. They talk to each other. Like Redskins players interact a lot more. Like we actually did a joint podcast before we even put our own episode out, and we talked to this one guy, and he was like, "Yeah, I get DMs all the time from like the starting running back and stuff." And I was like, "That'd be sick if that ever happened to us." You know what I mean? Like, so we're definitely grinding, and everyone on Twitter has been very cool. We do now have Twitter and Instagram accounts for every single podcast page because I'm a psychotic idiot moron. So yeah, I'm slowly starting to roll that out. So when we do get back to normal, we're going to take some pictures of the T-shirts and get all that going again. And we're going to try to convert a lot of the stuff that we talk about. Like if someone has a really good article they want to post or they want to do a write-up, we'll put it on Twitter, Instagram, and then also Twitter. So we'll definitely try to get the stuff like that up. So we're definitely pushing harder for more content for you guys, not just the podcast end. But
I don't want to talk about football after the fucking Packers draft.
yeah, that quarterback draft was awesome. Did not
so
see that coming.
I am so pissed off.
So we do have a more than normal when it comes to news, and I'm going to be completely honest. Most of this, topic-wise, we got is I pulled a lot of it from IGN. I like to follow IGN because I think they have a pretty range scope of everything we kind of talk about, so that they're very helpful. We're going to start off with Ben real quick with the first bit of news. So go ahead, Ben.
So, the G.I. Joe artist for the action figures passed away at age 92. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I really liked his artwork, flat out. Totally iconic.
His artwork he was the guy that drew the guys that were on the packaging for the toys.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the action
even like the
figures.
vehicles
Yeah,
and all that.
once you
thing,
see
too.
like that classic G.I. Joe art, and he did everything.
Yeah, he did everything.
There, see
so
that?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's exactly like his style.
Yeah, if you just type in G.I. Joe 80s packaging.
Did he do Slaughter, or was that a different guy after?
I think he was still part of it. I think he did Roddy Piper, too.
He probably did
did
it
it.
up until the end.
Yeah.
Well, right, maybe not the end. Maybe to like the early 90s. So I don't know. It depends.
Oh,
This dog wanted to say something there.
that
Gotta
was
love my dogs over here.
that was
They
the
just wanna
dog.
Say hi.
That was the dog doing a woo. They're like, yeah, you didn't introduce us. It's bullshit.
It's weird because Sergeant Slaughter obviously was a character in wrestling first, and then they added him in.
Wow, there's some wacky shit that he made. He has like Christmas elves with Nazi bands on his.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
No, I'm not kidding you.
Well,
It's a good crossover.
and then also kind of wrestling news, and also Marvel comic book image news. Cannot wait for this quarantine to be over, and I'm sure you can't either because
Yeah.
you got a lot of new
Yeah,
gear.
no, 3 sets. How about it? I think I'm done.
God, yeah.
I got good deals though. So
So you got a gear to now match your your Captain Marvel jacket.
yes, yeah.
I almost said Miss
finally.
Marvel.
Well, she
Captain
was Miss
yeah.
Marvel, Carol Danvers. Yeah,
Then you got a Gambit set.
yeah. The Gambit set, and I got the coat finally.
Are you
from
gonna
Pakistan.
Are you gonna rock a staff?
No. Yeah, I will not rock a staff, and I will not be throwing cards.
Yeah,
That's
I was
a
gonna
little
say
too
because
much.
you don't want to because Ace was
Yeah.
his kind of thing.
Yeah, and he got away from that, but I don't want to do that because that's a little too much.
Yeah,
You know.
I do agree with that. Or even like if you at PPW, be like, hey, can you hook me up with one of my playing cards?
Yeah, like get that out.
And
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
That'd be kinda cool. Because it does have a pocket inside. It's one huge pocket.
yeah.
And then you didn't see my Spawn coat. I put the spikes on the shoulders last
Oh
night.
shit.
And then try to figure out some way to put chains around what my arms.
Yeah,
Whatever.
and then Andy kind of jumped
Yeah.
ahead a little bit, and then he has Spawn inspired
Yeah, which
gear.
really that A looks great on the back. I took the A from the Spawn logo. If anyone's seen, there's a little skull in it.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
put down my ass, so that way when it's the 2 greens. I even said to him a light green for like the powers, and then the green like the logo.
Yeah.
and it really pops because it's black and then the
Yeah.
And the Captain Marvel gear is actually new blue and gold gear.
yes,
Yeah, so you both got it.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Turner got the same tights with his say MT on it.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
then
it looks, it
the
looks
Spawn
sharp.
ones, I don't know if you noticed, have little studs all over it.
Yeah,
I forget what he said. How many's on it? Like 50 something.
like on the
or something.
legs and stuff.
No, like on the belt, and then the kick pads have studs on them. Not like spikes, little like studs. Like like the studded belt.
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
you
it's-
wouldn't hurt.
So if you do like
They're
a Hona
tiny.
cutter on, you're not going to rip anybody open.
No.
It's a blunt force
maybe
trauma.
like in 5 years they'll start falling off or something. But it looks really cool. So
Nice.
I'm happy with all the sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks awesome. So you can go over and check that out on our page, Andy's page, or Tornado Tag.
And
The
if
new
you're
gear
looking
looks
for
sick.
wresling gear, I tag the guy. Just message him and set something up. He has
do
great
something.
prices, and it took like I think 3 weeks total from when I sent him the picture to when I got
I'll
it.
never be a pro wrestler, but I may grab some gear one day.
There you go.
Show
I was
up at
just
the
gonna say,
shows.
would it be weird if I ordered like a full one piece spandex?
You look
like a black hat?
you look like a singlet kind of guy, Matt.
Yeah, that's what
Some
I'm saying,
people
the
do,
singlet
like,
with,
for-
a cat's face on it.
Yeah.
For costumes or for cosplay. I know the one guy that he got a Naito set made because he wore it for cosplay for your
Nice.
Wow.
So
Nice.
like some people do, or like Halloween, and they want to spend money. They're like, "Hey, can you make me Bret Hart pants?" And they're like, "Yeah,
Can you make
you're,
me
you're paying. I'll make you whatever you want."
Can you make me Macho Man
Maybe-
gear?
Maybe I'll hit him up if the cat series I'm working on takes
There
off.
you go.
We're in production of that right now.
Yeah. So I actually I made a choice. I'm gonna really fight the urge to do this because I think the early stages are very hard to do. I'm growing my hair back.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna grow it
boy.
back long
Wow.
again. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again.
Now, when did you cut it? It was a couple years, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Right as soon as the podcast started.
Really?
So because I had it long, and then I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be on camera a lot, maybe I should not
Yeah.
start with like a long hair look. And I was getting sick of it, and then I cut it, and I immediately was like, man, I miss it.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm gonna grow it back. Yeah. So maybe I can get that Macho Man gear for another
There you go.
upcoming
The-
Halloween.
The weirdest part is when it's like slightly past your ears,
You get
but
the-
not to your shoulders.
yeah, that AJ soccer mom look. AJ style soccer
You
mom
just
look.
gotta slick it back. And
Yeah.
that's-
In hair news, I've grown back all my pubes for this quarantine.
Whoa.
Awesome.
hey now.
Good stuff. I got the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0, so I'm looking good. I'm looking good.
That's
right
all-
now.
Dude,
Jim
I see
Cornette
that
advertised
advertised
that.
all the time, and I want to get it.
Yeah.
Like, I love my Norelco, but
I hear Jim Cornette hawking that and Conrad. I think I'm like, I'm gonna get that just to try it.
I'm looking good. I'll just put it out there. All right. So other news besides our nuts and our private parts.
I was gonna try manscaping.
Howard
Yeah.
Stern.
Yeah. Hey now. New
they're
Goose.
not an advertiser yet.
Yeah. New Goosebumps live action TV series is in the works.
yeah.
Now, where's that going to? Netflix, Amazon
Yeah,
Prime.
I don't think
I've
didn't-
seen it, but I
didn't
didn't-
see where it's going. But it's definitely in production as we speak.
Because Goosebumps is kind of like a Twilight Zone, but elongated Twilight Zone, right?
It's like a kid.
Well,
it's a
it's
really
like a-
kid-friendly
yeah, it's a
Twilight
corny
Zone.
kinda
Extremely kid-friendly.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah, but
I think the
every-
kids are eating it up right now. Like the movies are doing really well.
I loved the Goosebumps books when I was a kid, but every adaptation of it so far that I've seen have sucked. Like, it just didn't translate real well. It came off corny.
I enjoyed the Jack Black movie. I thought it was corny, but I mean, if I was a kid, I would have popped over that.
Which is, I guess
I have to admit, I haven't seen the Blackjack version or the Jack Black version.
Oh yeah, the movie was good. I mean, it wasn't like you said. It was very kid friendly, but it was. I liked it. Did you see it, Bree?
Sorry, no. I had my speaker off because the dogs are barking.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I have not seen it yet, but I really wanted to because I also grew up reading the Goosebumps
Yeah.
books, and I really, really like them. They're one of my favorites.
Does
I
anybody?
would like to get around to watching them eventually. I've heard mixed things about them, though. Some people say they're really good, and some people say they're not.
Yeah.
Does
Go ahead, Ben.
anybody? Does
You know what
anybody?
was good?
Hold on, real quick, Matt. Go ahead, Ben.
Does anybody remember like the Fox Kids Goosebump live
Yeah,
action show?
100%.
That was pretty wild. That was a little bit creepy, like in a way too.
What was your favorite? What was everyone's favorite Goosebumps book they read?
I was never into it.
No.
Yes, I can't really. Talk
I would
about
say it would be a tie between. Oh, there's a three-way tie between Say Cheese and Die, Egg Monsters from Mars, and Beast of the East.
it. Bam Bam Bigelow had a book.
Matt, do you remember your
I have
favorite?
all of them.
Probably the Haunted Mask. I really like the Haunted Mask.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
Bree.
I'm looking at the like list in order here because I can't remember them. Come back to me 1 second.
Yeah,
if you
I don't know the
mind.
name of mine, but I do remember the premise of it. But it was where this family goes to an amusement park that's ran by monsters.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. I'll tell you the name of it in a second because I'm looking here. It's I was thinking of that one too. It's funny you said that. It was One Day in Horrorland.
Yeah.
One Day at Horrorland.
I know there was a superhero one that looked cool. It's like some evil superhero.
There was
cover.
Yep, that's it. That's it. I just pulled a picture of it. One Day in Harland is 100% it. And then there was
That's
one.
exactly the one I was thinking about.
Yeah, and then there was one I used to really like, where it was a book where it wasn't in order. So like it was like you choose your own adventure style book,
yeah.
and it had
yeah,
a
I think I have a
bat
few.
on the cover, and it was like you pretty much are going into this house to investigate with your friends. So you read the first 3 pages. It says, do you go in through the basement or do you go in through the front door?
yeah,
If you
okay.
choose the front door, you go to page 65. If you choose the basement, you go to this page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was
Oh, that was good.
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
take that off, yeah.
The superhero one that I think Andy was saying, that one's Attack of the Mutant.
Okay, I remember seeing that. I never read it.
Then there was another one. It was called Calling All Creeps, and it was a whole bunch of like lizard men that were at a telephone booth and making creepy phone calls and scaring kids.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
What are you doing?
R.L. Stein had some good
Barely do
shit,
the Resident
man.
Evil 4 salesman voice.
That's one of the very few people I would love to meet and be like, "Yo, I have like all your books."
Do you know he wrote a 4-issue Man Thing miniseries?
Yeah.
I got the first 2 issues and I
Yeah.
couldn't find 3 or 4. I'm sure I can get them online. but
Yeah.
I've been buying way too many comics online.
And then I got a little bit of the Goosebumps 2000 books then too.
Oh, I didn't know they came back.
Yeah, he went did the original. I think it was like 50 books, and then he tried doing Goosebumps 2000, and that was like, okay.
Yeah.
I think like the original run is a lot better.
Yeah,
I'm sure he made a good chunk of change.
I'm surprised he hasn't re-released.
I mean,
them.
those books were
He
huge
probably
when
has
I was
it,
in
but
school.
once it leaves our generation. You're kind of banking on the next generation.
Yeah.
Another one I
would
liked. I
love
just
to
found the cover. Welcome to Dead House. I used to like a lot too.
It's so hard doing this when I can't see you guys and get the nuances of conversation.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Camp Nightmare was good. Sorry, I was just seeing some of the covers. Camp Nightmare was awesome. The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb I liked, and then the Phantom
The
of the
Mummy ones are all awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, the cover one, the one with the Phantom of the Opera was really cool too. They're my favorites.
That one was one of my favorites. So yeah, the Phantom one. I
Yeah.
also liked Ghost Next Door.
Okay.
And where was the other one? I have the list right here. I'm just looking at them.
Oh, there's
The Scarecrow one. While you
just
look
lost
at that, the Scarecrow run is
Oh,
awesome.
The
yeah,
Scarecrow one.
Yeah.
Stay
Yes.
Out of the Basement, the blob that
one.
ate everyone.
Yeah.
Then there's the Curse of Camp Cold Lake, which is they made like Southern Prohibition Brewing Company made crowlers with all like Goosebump related artwork on them
cool.
too.
That's cool.
And then
Why I
another
get those so
another
bad.
big book I was into that I guess not recently, but like in the last couple of years got turned into a movie was that I watched it, but I don't remember much of it because I fell asleep.
Okay, yeah.
But was that Real Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've seen that movie. The movie's not great.
Oh, it's not. We just got it.
I
to
seen
watch.
the first 2 chapters and I liked it. Like the first couple minutes. Yeah, I thought it was cool.
The cover of
Yeah, I
Calling
didn't
All
love the movie, but I actually read that book as well.
Yeah.
the cover of Calling All Creeps has these 3 like weirdo lizards, and you're probably like, "Hey, what are you wearing?" Like that's I imagine it being like on the perv level, like, calling these 10-year-old kids, "What are you wearing, Jill?"
The funny one in that regard of like the funnier ones, the one Shocker on Shock Street about the giant praying mantis. That one's hilarious.
Oh
Yeah.
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 That one is really
Yeah.
funny. I did like that one a lot. I liked Werewolf of Fever Swamp and Piano Lessons Can Be Murder too.
Yeah.
There you go.
I do
There's
remember the
the,
werewolf
there
one.
it
Yeah, those ones were good.
there's that one. The mutant
yeah.
one. That's
Did you
pretty
gu-
wild. Attack of the Mutant.
Go ahead.
My
Matt.
go ahead, Ben.
No,
No, I was
you're
saying
good.
go ahead,
You're
Matt.
good. You're good. You're good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. My favorite book run besides the Goosebumps, because it was Goosebumps and then Wishbone, the dog books.
Oh yeah.
There was an awesome
Oh, yeah.
PBS series, Wishbone series. I hope somebody remakes that for kids because that was a good one.
There you go. There's another
Yeah.
one. I did.
All right. Next
I
bit
don't
of
know
news.
if anybody else appreciated
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say Boxcar Children was really good too. I don't know if anybody else liked them. They were good mystery books, but they were good for kids too.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
just remember. I just remember when me growing up. Either you read Goosebumps books or you were a Babysitter's Club kid.
Well, what about Captain Underpants? We're forgetting about Captain
Oh,
Underpants.
that was the shit.
That was a little. That was not really my generation.
Yeah, me
I
too.
liked Captain Underpants, and I liked that there was a book called The $1 Million Shot about a kid that had to take a foul shot for $1 million.
Didn't they make a movie out of that?
Oh, I didn't read that one.
No,
Yeah.
my brother's generation was that Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That was really popular then.
Ah, there you go. Give
Yeah,
yourself
for my
goosebumps
sister and
was
brother.
the choose your own adventure one.
I never read any books.
Yeah.
I only read comic books. I don't know.
All right, a little bit of next news. Destroy All Humans remake is coming out in July.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Remake or just
That just says remake.
Oh.
Yeah.
they were fun.
Yeah. WWE 2K is off the shelves for now. They're not making 2021, but they are going to make a game called Battlegrounds, and it's more of an arcade style game.
Yeah.
A very very short trailer, which
26 seconds, I believe. It was.
yeah. The characters have a very unique look. It kind of looks like WWE All Stars, but not as muscular and
Yeah.
jacked.
Somebody said there's NBA game that they look like that.
Yeah, kind of like a bigger head, shorter body style.
Yeah, kind of like what's them little bomb shit?
NFL, they have an NFL Blitz coming out, which is along the same lines.
Oh, okay.
Nice, yeah.
The little
Okay.
like they're not pops, but they're called hard candy. That's all like hot
Yes.
shit. They look like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The very beginning of the trailer is The Rock picks up John Cena and throws him into the front row of the crowd to a alligator that is
Yeah.
going to eat John
Because
Cena.
the arena's in a swamp.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I'm all in.
If it keeps very simple gameplay controls,
Yeah.
I'm in.
And all that
All-Stars-
crazy stuff. Too.
All Stars was fun.
All-Stars was
I
really
loved All
fun.
Stars, and people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, I like the simulation." You had the simulation game for the past 15 years.
Yeah, change
It's
it
been
up.
a little shitty for the
Listen,
past 5.
I'm over Madden. I'm sick of Madden.
Yeah.
Like this year's Madden comes out, I'm not buying it. because I
Just
always get
boot up last year's.
Yeah, I get suckered in every year to like, oh, these new features are going to change, or franchise mode is going to be better, and it doesn't get better. And I always get suckered into it. I play franchise mode for 2 seasons, and then I get bored, and I shut it off. But if they came out like what Matt's saying, like an NFL Blitz or like an arcade style game,
yeah.
I remember there was a point in time where people were like, I am fucking sick of every year they come out with a Madden and an arcade version of the game, and now I'm like, I kind of miss, like, I hate baseball games, but the one where you can like hit the ball to the moon and you can jump like 100 feet in the air and rob a home run, or like NFL Blitz or FIFA Street,
The goofy ones.
yeah, or like NFL Street where you could run up the side of the walls and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, bring those back.
Why not?
They were
Yeah.
so much fun.
What
Yeah.
was the hockey game? Rock the Rink, and then there was
Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey
yeah,
for the
yeah.
N64.
And I think they even Midway made a Blitz of the hockey game then,
Hits.
too.
It was
yeah,
called
hits.
Okay.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Z.
Yeah, everything was with a Z, bro.
Yeah, that was
Man, that was
90s
fucking
extreme.
90s
Blitz
extreme
with a Z.
shit.
Hits with a Z.
College Slam. Remember that?
I loved the arcade wrestling game too, with like Doink the Clown or whatever,
Okay,
and the
yeah.
Undertaker.
Yeah.
That was the
Oh,
shit.
WWF in your house?
No,
Or
well,
is
that was the sequel. WrestleMania the
sequel?
arcade
Okay,
game.
all
WrestleMania
right.
arcade
WrestleMania
game,
arcade.
which had some
yeah.
That was one of the best games ever. I love that game.
It's fun. I mean, yeah, it's not.
Had one of the
in-depth
craziest
simulation,
endings
but-
to games in history. Some of the endings were really off the wall.
Yeah, and in your house had fatalities.
Yeah.
Which is-
Whoa.
All right, so here's the thing. The Last of Us 2 is coming out 6/19/2020.
So 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. If you
Month
are
and a half?
looking, if you are a huge Last of Us fan, I would highly, highly, highly recommend staying away from Google searches because
No spoilers.
it got leaked.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
The ending, some of the key elements of the game, and possibly the ending, all got leaked.
Jeez.
I know the PlayStation community is very upset.
It's too short to go back and change it now. Like,
Yeah.
Whoa, you know.
Yeah, so just a pro tip: if you are a fan of The Last of Us and you're really looking forward to The Last of Us Part 2, stay away from the internet.
Didn't care for it.
Yeah, it didn't do much for me either. Yeah, I know.
I don't know if I got halfway
I tell
through.
people that, and they're like, "You're just a fucking Xbox."
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, I played it. I didn't like." Here's my thing.
You played through it. You didn't care for it. You gave it like a couple shots.
Even if it was on Xbox, you still wouldn't like it.
No, because here's the thing that pissed me off about it is, like, when I played, it was, okay, you have to be super quiet,
Yeah.
and you have to not make sure you're seen, and you have everything stealth, which I liked. But my NPC character can
girl?
run literally right up to
Yeah.
everybody, and they're just like, we don't see that. Like, that doesn't exist.
it was unrealistic.
Yeah, and I was like, how the fuck? Like, to me, if a game gets a 10 out of 10, everything has to be on point.
Yeah.
And that game got 10 out of 10s, and I'm sitting in a spot where there's 100 guys in this in the very early stages of the game. There's 100 like there's dudes everywhere, and I got to sneak around and pick them off one by one. And my character is literally running up next to them, like, high five.
See,
You know,
I
and I'm
think
like-
that was why it got 10 out of 10 was of the time Walking Dead was super huge, the zombie thing was
Yeah.
real big, and that people just wanted to like it.
Listen,
And it could do no wrong.
the
really.
motion cap on it was gorgeous.
I think it's a good game.
The
yeah,
acting
but
was gorgeous.
I didn't like
The
it.
voice acting was great. The story was good. The gameplay was fun. It was very Uncharted like because I guess you can't really go wrong if you're gonna
Made by the same people.
If you're gonna just I mean, when you break down exclusives for PlayStation, if it's 9 times out of 10 if it's made by Naughty Dog, it's gonna get high praise.
Yeah.
And most games besides if you're God of War or if you're the new Spider-Man game, most of the other exclusives for PlayStation fall to the wayside. Like Naughty Dog is the shit when it comes to
Yeah, they don't make many games, really.
and the ones they did make that were really good, they all got away from. Like we talked about last on over the phone was
Sly
like
Cooper.
Sly-
Was it Sly Cooper or was it Jack and Dexter?
any of those games.
I
Those,
think they made them all.
Jack and Dax.
Jack,
Oh, was
Jack,
that one?
Jack and
Yeah.
Dexter was Naughty Dog, but I'm talking about like Infamous and stuff.
Yeah, like make that.
Little Big Planet,
Yeah.
like they were really good exclusives, and they scrapped.
I don't know. A lot of people really like Last of Us. I'm like, I don't get it. I'm
Yeah.
playing. I'm like, I don't get it. Maybe
Yeah.
because I don't like zombies, but I don't know.
That was one game I kind of even avoided then. Not really avoid it, but I kind of was just like, oh, whatever. Like, I always kind of wanted to get it, but I kind of put it off.
Yeah.
Really, but...
Yeah.
I guess Naughty Dog's kind of like how the developers of Chrono Trigger were when that came out, like in the 90s, where basically you had Chrono Trigger, a masterpiece of like an RPG game that people still love, and even Nintendo ported over to the DS, still the same game with some like tweaks, and it came out amazing. And then they're like, let's do Chrono Trigger 2, and they're like, no, let's make a game from scratch,
Yeah.
and that was
Let's-
Chrono
let's-
Cross.
Let's make several games from scratch that don't do as good as any of the games we do that did do good, and then we're like, why aren't these games doing good?
Yeah. You guys have any thoughts on the Last of Us leaks, or did any of you get caught up in it yet?
I don't know anything about I don't know anything about that. I know some hero's been leaking episodes of The Walking Dead 2 days early. That's the only thing I know about leaks. So
Yeah.
I'm not very big on that game either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a very good game for people who like zombies and zombie-related stories, which I do like a lot of those things. But video game-wise, it's not really for me.
Did you play the zombie game
Days
for
Gone.
PlayStation, Days Gone?
I did not. No.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Tyler beat it. I think he liked it, but he said it was short. Or something. I forget what he said.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know when it first came
I
out, it was
didn't play
really buggy and turned a
Yeah.
lot of people off right away.
Yeah,
and I
they
think
probably
they
fixed it a lot,
patched
but-
it and they said it's good now. Call of Duty Warzone is a game I've been playing a lot. It is free to play, but you can also play. You can play along with your version of Call of Duty. It's a giant battle royale game. I think overall as a battle royale game, I think it's done very, very, very well. It's a very fun game. There is one problem though. The crossplay is kind of hindering it because there is a ton of cheaters. A ton of cheaters. And Activision has not put anything in place for anti-cheat software.
Oh boy.
yeah.
So what do you download it?
Yeah.
It's for okay,
Yeah.
so it's not physical, like it's not
Nope.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
It's
2
like a
or whatever.
probably like a patch or something.
What's that?
And
What the?
No, you could. It's a solo download. You can just download Call of Duty Warzone.
No, I mean like the cheat where I think he.
Oh,
was
you just
saying-
put it on your computer, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a PC player, so I don't really know how to go about doing it. But there's really no anti-cheating software out for the game, and their team of people who watch the game or take on the reports is a team of very small people. Like the rumor is like 5 people.
Oh, geez.
So if
So
you have
they
a game
can't
that
keep up.
millions
Yeah.
of people are playing, like I'm watching like a lot of people stream it and YouTube clips,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like these people are playing and they'll be running, and it's a huge map, and they'll just be like. Their head snaps and they want a straight line, and they'll just pull their gun up no matter any distance and shoot, and they're headshotting people.
I think like when people cheat, like,
yeah, I know something about this because the H3 podcast that I listen to, they cover a lot of the YouTube drama and stuff. One of the YouTube drama things that came up a few weeks ago was this Call of Duty game. One of the professional gamers was teaching people how to use an auto aim cheat on that game. And he was playing on stream using these cheats. So now everybody knows how to do it. And this kid's been banned forever and kicked off his team.
Good.
So,
Yeah, it's
like,
incredible
when you
how
cheat like that,
much cheating there is.
how much fun is that really? Like, okay, you're
exactly.
cheating.
How do you enjoy it?
Yeah, when you start, okay, you do it for 5-10 minutes. Oh, that's cool. I'm beating, and then it's like, okay, I'm unstoppable. You know, at some point, you're like, okay, I'm
there's
done.
cheats where you can see them through walls. You
Oh,
can
boy.
see them on the radar. There's ones where you can, like, say if you want to, I guess they call it stream snipe. So say Ben's a really good streamer,
Yeah.
and I watch his stream, I can type his name in, and they can automatically put me in his lobby.
Oh, God.
And I can see him on the map exactly where he goes and go kill him.
That's
So-
when you just log out of the game and delete, and then that's it.
Yeah,
And you don't play anymore.
But there is
Yeah.
people who there is streamers who make a living off playing games.
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So it's not easy for them to do that. But what Call of Duty I guess is starting to do is the rumors is they banned over 70,000 accounts.
Wow.
So I guess the new thing they're doing is because they can't keep up with all the accounts,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing what Grand Theft Auto did. When you got caught cheating on Grand Theft Auto, or you were just a bad player, or
Yeah.
just treated people like shit in the game all the time, which is kind of pointless because you're playing Grand Theft Auto. Why would you be punished for playing Grand Theft Auto? Like
You're supposed to steal stuff.
yeah,
and
you're supposed
kill
to be a
people,
scumbag.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're blatantly cheating, then you were put in a lobby with only cheaters.
Good. Yeah.
So that's what Call of Duty is now doing. They made like a cheater lobby
Oh, that's cool.
where they only put
It
all
should
cheaters
be marked
to
with
get.
cheater next year as a cheater game tag.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Good.
do you know anything else on this, Matt?
just that the penalties they're doling out are some of the most harsh in the game's history. Like people are being IP banned. They're also being VPN banned. So if you're caught on a VPN and trying to play through private network, they'll also ban you for that, and you can't get onto the game anymore. You lose everything.
Yeah.
So they're saying some of the penalties are some of the most harsh they've been doling out, which is good. I mean, there's cheating in anything is ridiculous, and it's so dumb, especially when there's no money involved. Like poker, there's definitely, especially on this one site, ACR, there's a lot of cheaters on it, and the ring was finally exposed, and like people that played legitimately for so long was telling the site this is going on, and they were saying, no, there's no way it's going on. And then a YouTuber, luckily this kid Joey Ingram, finally exposed it, and they're like, okay, yeah, it is going on. And yeah, so like people lost a lot of money in that aspect, but that's more understandable than cheating at a free game. Like, how is that fun? Like an auto aimer cheat, you just shoot within 20 feet of the person and it's a headshot. Like that's what they were showing.
Yeah,
it's so stupid.
Well, it's not even just an auto aim. Like you know exactly where everyone is at all times, so you can just like you always have the drop on people.
I don't know how that's fun. Maybe you're a 5-year-old, like, ooh,
Yeah.
but like I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're like an adult, that's what you do for
Look at
hours
that.
on end. You're messed up.
Like if it's like
There's people.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, you go ahead. Ben.
Oh no, there's people on, like I play this golf game or whatever. Like I'm, it's the nerdiest thing about me, but I'm like literally one of the best in the world for mobile players on this golf game. And there's people on there that cheat during what are called turf wars, where you're just trying to score more points than the other team. There's people that will have people go in against them and drop the game so it counts towards their points quickly, because it takes like 15 minutes to play a game. So they'll drop it and they'll be getting millions of points within minutes. And it's like, how do you enjoy, like, what is the fun in that? Just seeing yourself on top no matter what?
I don't get it. Some people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like one thing to learn like some frame skipping and like actually learn the timing of it, but it's another thing just
To
you
use
know
a program
it's
that
so
cheats,
easy to do that. Yeah.
Well, that reminds me of Mortal Kombat, the newest one. They did, like, when you were fighting somebody, if they were about to lose, they would back out real quick because it wouldn't count towards a loss because they're that stupid about it. But then they made it, well, if you backed out, your character, you would get a cheatality, and the character would kill itself, and that character would get the loss, and you would get a win. I'm like, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to do it.
I'll stick with some more Battle Royale news real quick. I don't play this game anymore, but the only reason I don't play this game is there's one aspect of this game that I cannot figure out, and it's my own fault. I'm just not good at it.
Broccoli?
No, it's a Battle Royale, so it's Fortnite.
Oh, okay.
I suck at building, and if you're not a good builder in that game, you are not going to do very well. That's kind of why I like Warzone, because it's more realistic. But I know a lot of people hate Fortnite because I think because it became such a popular kids game, and it became a beacon for younger players, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's a kids game, I hate it. You know what I mean? But Fortnite has changed gaming since it came out. Like the Battle Royale free to play game mode has been. I mean, Call of Duty just put a free game out. You know what I mean? Like, so Fortnite has changed. Crossplay started with Fortnite. Fortnite showed the gaming world that crossplay is as easy as a flip switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Fortnite,
you're 100% right. Yeah.
Yeah, Fortnite has changed the way we see games. That you don't have to pay $60, but hey, they'll put skins out that won't make you a better player.
Yeah.
But if you pay for the skins, that's going to help them develop and keep the game going. They always change the map. They always add stuff. They listen to their community. They keep an eye out on cheating. The game does very well when it comes to stuff like that. They just had this event. They've done it before.
Yep, that's exactly where I was about to say that.
Yeah, they just did this event. I didn't see when they've done this before. I guess they did it with Marshmello, which is like a DJ or a guy. But they did it with Travis Scott, who's a rapper. So they teased this live concert that you can log on to the game at this time, and you will see a Travis Scott concert. Okay. I watched the video to it. It was fucking impressive. Like, it was insane. And I guess I could be wrong, but this Travis Scott thing is maybe also leading it to people thought it might lead to a new style of game, or the new mode, or the new map per se. I know before they had a Deadpool expansion where you could play as Deadpool, and you have to go into a photo of to unlock Deadpool. You had to there was phone booths, and you had to go in the phone booth, and you come out of the phone booth dressed as Deadpool. So they always do cool stuff like that. They did an Avengers one where Thanos would drop in, and everyone had to work together to kill Thanos. Like they do really well.
During the rap concert, you could just go and shoot at him, and it ruin the concert. Because there's probably a ton of people playing that don't want to see the rap concert.
Yeah,
I think they even did that with Weezer too.
I believe they might have, yeah.
did
So
one, yeah.
I didn't, like I said, I didn't see these. I just seen this one here. So the game starts, and everyone's in the lobby, and they're all just looking at the stage, and they're just waiting for everything to start. And in the distance, this giant meteor is coming to at you.
Yeah.
And then as it gets closer and closer, it looks like a small planet with like giant speakers all over it, and then a giant like circling pink comet that's flying around it, and then it comes into frame, and then Travis Scott lands on the stage, his first song plays, and you're like kind of watching it, everyone's into it, and then all of a sudden he grows to like 100 feet tall, and then the whole map changes, and then you're like it goes from like you're underwater to up in the sky. Like it was a visual really cool experience. And
it's a light version of that. Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's a light version of that movie Ready Player One, from what I've heard, where everyone meets in a map and they watch all the shit that goes on in that. Have you guys seen Ready Player One?
No.
I have, yes.
yeah.
It's very good.
It's an unbelievable visual movie. Yeah, I think Steven Spielberg's work's really good. This is his best movie ever, in my opinion. That is a very good movie. The central premise is it's a futuristic movie where everybody lives in this
virtual reality.
VR world.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're still a human on Earth, but you're logging into this virtual game.
You're actually, from what I remember hearing about, you're very poor. So like people are living in like rundown old buses and cars and just living in complete poverty. And the only
Even
way
more
you
than
can,
that, yeah.
it's the worst of worst conditions. And the only way you can earn credit or money or to gain social status is you have to be good in the VR world. But you can be a completely different human in the VR world.
Yeah.
And it actually blends in a lot of pop culture. Like the DeLorean's in it, Freddy Krueger's in it, Iron Giant's in it. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody tried to count the Easter eggs in the movie, that new Rockstars channel, and there's over 300 that they found.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's honestly one of the most underrated movies because it came out like right between Marvel movies, and that's when they sort of had like a monopoly on the theaters. So a lot of people haven't seen it, but visually and story wise, it's just an absolutely
I believe it's a graphic
awesome movie.
novel. It was a graphic novel.
It
turned
was,
into-
it was
Yes.
an actual novel,
Yeah, I
yes.
think it was a book.
Yep.
A book, yeah.
A book, okay.
And I think Steven Spielberg painstakingly got 90% of the copyrights in order for that movie to be made then, too. He fucking put a lot of
Yeah,
money
because
in
if
that.
you would say everyone put Freddy in, and they'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys will have to watch it, but I think it's honestly one of the best Spielberg movies ever, especially visually.
Yeah. So definitely if you're
It's
bored,
very good, yes.
if you're bored and you want to search YouTube, go check out that Fortnite Travis X concert. It's definitely a cool watch. Bree's got a little bit of news here about a TV show that we're very fond of, and God, I wish it was The Office, but it's not. It's the next best thing. Go ahead, Bree.
Oh, yeah. So this week, I believe it's at 8 o'clock on Thursday, Parks and Rec will be like reuniting for one episode only, to have the whole cast kind of like get together and show how they're living through and experiencing and dealing with the current pandemic, and the whole cast will be in the episode, and I think they're going to even bring back some recurring guests throughout the show. So if
should
you're a
be
big
pretty
Parks
good.
and Rec fan, which
Oh my
all of
God.
us are,
Could you imagine how
it'll
Michael
be
Scott
on, and
and
you'll
the
get to see
Office
them.
crew would have handled this pandemic?
Yeah.
If Michael Scott couldn't leave his house and go to
Yeah.
the office to be around people, could you imagine how crazy he would have gone?
Or he's trapped in
Or
the
like,
office.
or then he finds Zoom.
Yeah.
Like Michael Scott finds Zoom that he can connect with all.
TikTok or whatever.
Oh my God! This is
Even
why
better,
we need the
pranks that
Office
Jim
back.
would play.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
pranks that Jim would play on Dwight with like sending him weird packages and shit.
Yeah, so I Parks and Rec is a fantastic show. It is very, very high on my list, but I'm glad they're doing.
And you think, I would say, you don't do this for no reason. You don't just do one and be like, okay, that's it. That's
Yeah.
all we're ever going to do. Like, hey, this does well. Maybe we'll do another season. That last season was kind of weird.
Would it be weird though? I guess we'll find out. Would it be weird seeing Andy as like a jacked dude now?
Well, that's what he was working out. They'll have some storyline.
yeah.
Well, in the last Guardians, in the last Endgame especially, they touched on he was gaining weight. So I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to be jacked.
That's
for
right.
it.
Yeah.
Other than him though, speaking of them coming back to the future, other than him, who's doing anything? Like, none of the cast.
Yeah.
Like, Aziz Ansari fell off the planet. Like, where is he?
Yeah.
Like, he had that one bad date story about him where he was on a bad date, and now he's not even. You'd never hear of him anymore.
Yeah.
Amy Poehler was everywhere. Now she's nowhere.
Yeah, she's in anything.
She
for
does a lot of
years.
commercials and
Yeah,
stuff,
but it's
yeah.
like, yeah, I'm sure she
Dropped
did
off the face of the
And the
earth
same with
there,
what's
yeah.
it with Ron Swanson. I don't know.
She
his name.
and
Oh yeah.
I can't think of his. It's blanked out on his name. Anyway,
Chris Traeger?
she and what? No,
Oh,
not
Ben.
Chris Traeger.
Not this Ben.
No, not Ben. It's Ron. Ron.
Yeah, Ron.
blanked out on his
I
name.
forget his real name.
He's Ron Swanson.
Yeah, I just Ron
Yeah.
Swanson.
Yeah, it's Ron.
He does a
We'll
lot of
call him
commercials
Ron.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does. But they have a show about making things like
Oh, 'cause-
woodworking.
Yeah, because he is a
and
woodworker in real life.
crafting and things like that. I don't know if it's still on, but it was on for a while. And then, of course, Ron has his own woodworking business that you could order pieces from, and he makes them. They're a little on the expensive side, but they're worth it if anybody's interested in like woodworking, likes his crafts.
That's
They'll
funny.
be crafted for you from his hands,
I think
and
they
they'll
could.
be sent to you.
Wow, I think they could have did a Ron Swanson spinoff.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's Nick
Yes.
Offerman, by the way.
Yeah, there you
Nick
go.
Yeah,
Offerman.
Nick
Yeah.
Off.
Yeah.
They could have done a Ron spinoff. They could have.
They could have did that Dwight
They,
spinoff.
Dwight spinoff would have been fantastic. A Jim and Pam spinoff would have
Yeah.
been big. You could do
Yes.
You can do
Michael
a
Scott, even though that it was his show.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
you could have done a where Andy and what's her name? What the hell was her character? Audrey's
April.
character, April. Their
okay.
spinoff with them.
yeah.
You know, there's so many different things at that show. I would have watched a spinoff of what's her name, the black lady in the show.
Oh,
Retta.
yeah,
Retta.
I would have watched a spinoff with her.
yeah.
Treat
They
yourself.
could have been Aziz Ansari as a wine and restaurant owner.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been fantastic
She's in
too.
a lot of she's in a lot of Netflix shows, Retta.
Yeah, she's
if
getting a lot of
anybody's
she's getting more work than probably any of them on the show right now when it comes to actual roles. But the other ones really didn't need it. I mean, Chris Pratt. I mean, actually, Chris Pratt and probably Audrey hit the hardest after that show. 'Cause
They did, yeah. She's in a few shows, Audrey.
Yeah, Audrey, she's fucking hilarious.
She was in like one movie.
She just
Are
came
you
out.
guys talking about Aubrey Plaza?
She just
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Aubrey Plaza, yeah.
she just played the mom in the new Chucky movie.
Oh, really? I didn't.
She was also in Legion, the FX
Oh,
yeah,
X-Men
that was
show.
That was kind of a bomb.
Then there was
The movie where she wants to fuck Robert De Niro with Bad Grandpa or whatever it's called.
Bad Grandpa. Then there's that Bachelor one where Zac Efron and the one guy from Workaholics, they're trying
Yeah.
to find dates.
Yeah, yeah, she's
Oh,
funny.
well, here's something.
With
What the hell has Rainn Wilson Dwight done in the past?
I don't
10
think-
years.
I don't think. I just think he's very.
I mean, he got that office money, so like,
Yeah.
he's living well. But I mean,
he seems like one of those people that does very well for himself.
Yeah.
Like I think he probably invested right.
Like Rick
yeah,
Moranis.
Yeah.
He
Well, not
was
only
just in a
that, when you're-
movie.
Or even
he was just
Kutcher,
in a
Ashton
movie
Kutcher.
about sharks, I think.
really,
Yeah, he was in.
Rainn Wilson?
He was it the Meg movie, right?
Yes, that's what it is. The
Yeah.
Meg. Yes,
He was
Well,
in.
plus-
He was in House of a Thousand Corpses.
was he?
Yeah.
With Jason
he
Statham.
was. Yes,
Yeah.
he was in that.
Plus, in line of doing stuff after, I mean, once the goal as a comedian really is to get on a sitcom that becomes syndicated. Once you do that, you're taken care of forever.
Yeah.
Syndication money doesn't stop, so they get paid no matter what. And Parks and Rec is in syndication, so they don't have to do anything.
And Parks and Rec and The Office, more so The Office than anything. The Office exploded. I think Parks and Rec is now getting the back end of The Office because I think Office hit hard for a whole new generation of people that like The Office has been over for like what 10 years now or you know what I mean, and then now that's
Yeah.
that it has a whole new resurgence where like younger generations are like The Office is the greatest thing ever and it's been binge watched. It's one of the most binged watched things on Netflix. Like
Yeah, I believe it.
it was beating Friends, it was beating Seinfeld
Wow.
in rewatch numbers, and then I think people were like, if you love The Office,
You might also like.
you should check out Parks and Rec. And then people were like, because there is some people that are very like,
Oh, they're like
if
WWF.
you can only like
WCW.
one
Stuck
or the
in
other.
their own way, yeah.
And then when people actually dive into Parks and Rec, because people are like, wait, so the guy who plays Star-Lord
Yeah.
is in Parks and Rec, and then like they latch on to characters and then go back and watch it, and
Yeah.
you're like, this show is fucking
It's
fantastic.
so good.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's so
The
good.
The last season it goes because it's in the future and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I
the
would
first
say
season's like
last year, when all the memes started picking up last year, I would say The Office was more popular than it was when it was actually on.
I would agree.
When they were when they were talking about pooling it and they had to pay Netflix a whole bunch of money to keep it on, and all the memes came out. I would say it was the most popular it's ever been.
Yeah.
I just
Yes.
rewatched it last year too. All
I've probably rewatched it on Netflix. This is not even an exaggeration. Probably 8 times.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good.
I watch it constantly. It's also on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I believe it's on Hulu too.
Constantly.
The only DVD
Last 2
set
seasons,
I
not
need
so
is
hot,
the
though.
last season. I have every season on DVD.
Yeah, I
except
think I need
the
the last one too.
Same.
And it's
Yeah,
not
I need the
expensive. It's not
last
like it's
season
hard
too.
to
No,
find.
it's like $30, $20.
Not even. It's like 15. You
Oh,
can get
wow.
it. You can get it really, really cheap. It's the only thing I
That's
need.
right.
The only thing I need. And supposedly the Office Con that's happening in Scranton is still on. They said they don't have the money to cancel it. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So everything's still supposedly happening. I guess in August it's happening.
I think
That
might be
probably,
alright.
Why?
that probably makes sense. Yeah.
So
Yeah, Mark and I are going to that.
yeah. So are we? We'll hang out.
Andy, you're coming.
I think
good.
I might. I want to go
Andy's
to check
coming.
it out.
Yeah, you can ride up with us.
Yeah.
We got to find a hotel room party.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, second room next to the elevator.
I know tons of people in Scranton. Most of but yeah, 2 great shows. I love both those shows.
Yeah,
Two of my favorites.
Avatar movie or Avatar TV show movie. I'm not sure exactly
Really?
what it is. It's coming to Netflix, live
Wow.
action.
Didn't care for that movie. I made it halfway through and I go, this is boring.
Yeah,
I like that movie.
Uncharted
Thought it was
movie.
overrated.
Uncharted movie. Everything getting pushed
hear
back. Uncharted movie moving up.
Really?
July 16th, 2021.
Which it's gonna be Indiana Jones basically. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what it's. Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider. You know, that's
The
what
only
it's
thing with
gonna
this movie is when it first was talked about, obviously he was much younger, but it was supposed to be Mark Wahlberg
Oh, okay, I see
playing
that,
Nathan
yeah,
Drake,
yeah.
and Sully was going to be De Niro,
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
which would have been fantastic.
And that like
Now,
exotic girl is so hot.
Now
English character.
Wahlberg has moved to Sully
Really?
because it's going to be young Nathan Drake. It's not
Oh,
going to
okay.
be
like he's 20 something.
around there, and young Nathan Drake is going to be shit. I was just about to say his name and it left my brain.
What is it?
Spider-Man, new Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Tom
Holland.
Tom Holland.
I say
Tom
no to
Holland.
that.
Yeah,
He's not a Nathan Drake in my mind.
we'll see. We'll see.
Well, did he hit his stride in puberty yet, or
No idea.
Ain't he like 28? Like in real life?
28?
I think
Holy
he is.
shit,
Yeah.
He's a young 28-year-old. He's
Yeah.
like 10.
That I would not catch.
Oh
that
my
name.
God.
This next topic is going to be a little longer, so we'll save this for the end. It is about movies. We'll let Matt kind of pick it up a little bit for it, but I'm going to bring Bree back for this one. I'll start it off, and I'm sure she has enough to last a little bit here. Animal Crossing news. It's top. It's always talked about on this show. It's what we do.
It's like 4 times in a row that we talked about it. Each
Listen,
show.
we have that group
Hey,
chat. So
it
if
is
you
what it is.
if you are picking up Animal Crossing and you want to join our little community, you are more than welcome. Send us a message on the Facebook page or on one of our personal pages, and we can get you in. Animal Crossing, in April, we do have some things leaving. So if you do not have them yet, and there's one on this list that I do not have, you need to. I think 2 I don't have. To be honest, that you need to go get them because they are leaving the end of this month. If you need a tarantula, you need to get it now. If you need a dab, a tuna, or a blue marlin,
I got them
Are
already.
the tarantulas in the game? Ain't that like the big bug to get?
in the northern hemisphere, they are leaving this month.
Yeah.
Oh, I
We're
thought
gonna
they
get
were-
the scorpions then.
Yep. Then they're going to switch over to
Oh,
scorpions.
okay.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so I know in the game, just kind of update. So I'm having issues with my controller where I get a drift.
Yeah.
I did this thing where I went to the settings of my system and updated my controllers, and then I recalibrated my my thing. It still drifts, but not nearly as
Oh, okay.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joy-Cons.
But I'm also thinking that it might not be my stick that's drifting. I think it might be my D-pad up button,
Oh, okay.
which is making me walk forward. And then when I adjust it with the stick, I think I could be wrong, but so that may be a thing you can do on your end if you are also having the same issue and you're trying to hold off until Nintendo support opens back up.
I think that's a hardware problem, like a physical problem.
Yeah,
like your controller's
but the
going. Calibration.
calibration of your thing and updating your Joy-Cons has helped a lot. I mean, it was to the point where it was just every 3 seconds.
Really?
Like
I heard some old
man.
Switches. They have a problem with the thing
I have Generation
going.
1,
Yeah, me
so
too.
yeah.
I have day 1, so
I do too.
it's a thing.
and I
going.
don't want to get multicolored Joy-Cons because I kind of like having the 2 black ones.
Yeah, you can get just new gray ones now and black ones.
I'm afraid to buy them because I don't know if I'm going to get a new generation version or an
Oh
older.
well, it's all new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to, but the problem is right now with Nintendo is people are snatching up Switches and reselling them at higher values
Yeah.
again.
So instead of having like a $200 system, you can flip it and get $300 profit, like
Yeah.
500.
Some go for
600.
400.
Does anyone know how much Joy-Cons were?
$59.99.
They are $110 each
Really?
now. Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah, if you want to buy a set of Joy-Cons on
Yeah.
Amazon, they are $110
I just got
each.
Good luck.
the Splatoon.
Oh, I just got mine for $85 off of GameStop.
Wow.
Oh yeah? Okay.
They're the multicolored ones, but they're still $85 plus tax,
All right.
which isn't bad. So I would suggest if you want, because I had to replace them for the same drifting issue, and I will recalibrate mine like you just did. And if that doesn't work, I'm planning on sending them to Nintendo because Nintendo fixes everything
Yeah.
free of charge.
We just got to
and
wait for them
sends
to open
back.
back up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are cheaper on GameStop.
Okay. I'll
They have
definitely
the
check that
best
out.
price.
I just ordered
Yeah.
A Pro Controller from
Pro Controller's best controller out there.
from Walmart. I got a Pro Controller for like $70.
Yeah, they're expensive, but they're worth it.
Yeah.
20-hour
They
battery
are
life.
good.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only thing is I do
It's
like
fantastic.
holding my
Switch.
Switch.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like-
I very rarely play it in
is the
handheld
Pro
mode.
controller wireless?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a non-wireless one too, but yeah.
I have a non-wireless one that drifts.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and the only reason, and I got it really, really cheap, so it is kind of my fault. But I really, really wanted it because it was a wired controller that was Bowser. I
Oh, okay.
love
There's-
Bowser.
There's
He's
a lot
my
of real
favorite
cool
character.
wired controllers. I don't want to fuck wired.
Yeah,
controllers.
if I had to pick my favorite Nintendo character, it's number one is Bowser. I love Bowser, and I love some of the Koopas. I like the one with,
Iggy,
like
and-
Lemmy
yeah,
and
The
stuff like
Koopa
that.
Kids.
Yeah, the Koopa Kids. I like a lot of those, and I'm a really big fan of the Boos. Like I like King Boo and
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Not the booze, like. Look.
Yeah, I like the Boos too. But yeah, so that is there anything else Animal Crossing, Bree, that you want to cover?
I'm trying to think right now. I'm trying to think if we're losing any bugs.
really
I didn't
cozy.
read about
You can finish
any bugs going besides the tarantula. So, no, I don't think so. But I could actually share what things we're getting if you want.
Sure.
Want me to do
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. Let's hear. I know one of them is a frog, which I'm really excited to getting.
Oh, I want to get the frog. Oh
Yes.
my god.
Yeah.
Does it count as a fish?
Yes, he's in the
Yeah,
pond.
yes, it does. Mm-hmm. We're also going to get, and some of these are new. We didn't get these in past Animal Crossing games, so they did add a lot of new, like, fish and bugs, which is pretty cool. So we're getting a nibble fish that you can find in the river from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're getting an angelfish also in the river from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. We're getting a betta. This is new. From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Who don't put two together, they fight.
Yeah. A rainbow fish from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. A mahi-mahi. This is new. We didn't have this in the other ones.
Oh,
So you'll get off
delicious.
your pier all day. Very delicious. One of my favorite fish to eat, too. So all day off your pier, which you'll need to use most likely bait for. Then we're getting a giant trevor. I don't know if I can pronounce this one right, but trevorlee. That's also off your pier all day.
Quick question about the pier fishing. Maybe you can clear this up for me because I don't know. If there is a fish around the pier, does it still count as a pier fish? So, like, I know that for me, where my pier is, there's a section of if the fish spawns very, very tight to the pier, I cannot fish it off my pier
Because of the angle.
because of the angle. So I have to go
Right.
on the beach next and
yeah.
cast it.
I'm going to say no, it doesn't, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think they would
I-
probably be particular about
because
it.
maybe when the game,
I
like
think
when
so,
you stay
too.
on the island, it
triggers
changes
something.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it counts as a pier fish because they want you to fish off your pier with your bait.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have to
They're
go grab. I have to
weird
go,
about that. This
I gotta
is
grab
new
some
for
bait so
here.
I can get this tuna and blue marlin.
Yeah, you got to get them. I call the tuna as Jim Halpert's now because I'm a big Office
tuna.
fan. So I
Where
call them.
where do you find the tuna? At? I know the blue marlin is all day off your pier.
The tuna
Also
is
off
on
your
the
pier.
Tuna is on the pier.
Is it all day long?
I'm pretty
I think
sure.
so.
I have it on the chat then too.
all day long.
I can pull up my Critterpedia real quick. I happen to be on right now. Let me go to my tuna. Tuna is, all day.
Okay,
January through April, and then November and December again.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I've been hitting the fishing really hard, so I wanted to catch a few tuna and some other fish then too, so I finally got a barrel eye then too, so that really worked out for me.
That's good. They're good fish. They're really neat looking.
They're freaking tough to get though.
Bells. They are. They are
Yeah.
really hard.
Anything else? And are we rumored to get more shops soon?
I think so. Yes. We'll come back to that in a second, but there's more things coming here.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
That's okay. No worries. We had the catfish in the pond, 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. We're going to get a great purple emperor butterfly, which is a beautiful butterfly, purple and black, 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. A Queen Alexander's birdwing. It's a very big butterfly. It's like green, tealish, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also really pretty. Banded dragonfly, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we already went over the scorpion. Yep. No, the banded dragonfly.
No, I'm talking about something else. Sorry, that's going on here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're okay. Sorry. The violin beetle, that's all day. Our Rosalia batsy beetle, that's a new beetle we haven't had in old games. That's all day. It's a really pretty beetle, if you want to say that about beetles. I hate them. Then we have a pond skater. That's just a little bug that, like, kind of hangs out on top of your rivers.
There is one in there already.
What's that?
Isn't there a bug like that in the
Water
game already?
bug.
Okay.
Yeah, the water bug.
The water beetle.
Water beetle, yeah.
And we're going to get a new beetle that kind of looks like that. We have the giant water bug now, but we're getting a new beetle. It's the diving beetle from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And that's all the new ones for the northern hemisphere. Now, if you're playing in the southern hemisphere, like Mark just got his own Switch because he decided he wants his own island so he could like also play with me. So he has his own Switch right now, and he started a brand new character. So he put in the southern hemisphere, so all of us northern hemisphere people can come and get the southern hemisphere.
We have two of them in our group now.
I don't
Him
have
and my
that,
brother. Except my brother did it because he's an
brother.
idiot. Because he was on the East Coast. He's in the southern hemisphere. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how I came about that.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark intentionally did it.
Yeah. My brother will tell you he
did.
did, but I know he didn't.
It's like, south.
Maybe it was a little confusing being on the opposite coast there.
I guess.
That's okay.
I don't. Where does he live?
San Diego.
Okay, that's not even the south. So I was gonna say if he lived in like Florida, he'd be like, okay, I'm down south, so southern hemisphere. I could see the connection of why you would do that.
Yeah, I think because he thought he was in a different time zone. Who knows? I love him to death, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have any of the southern hemisphere information, but if we have viewers who are interested, I'd be happy to get that information.
Cool.
So just let me know. I'll get it.
Maybe another month or two we start getting our sharks, right? That's like a summertime thing.
Oh, I want to get some
Yes,
sharks.
June.
Yeah.
Maybe shark.
They
When's
come
Shark
in
Week?
June. Unless they're starting it
August.
early, but it's always been in June in past games.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's
They're worth good money.
Yeah.
And they're fun.
So that's our
Yeah,
Animal
that's fun.
Crossing news. We know we've been covering a lot of PS4, Xbox. PS5, Xbox One, Series X, and possibly the Xbox Series S, which is being rumored.
I even heard that Nintendo is actually gonna come out with a beefier version of the Switch.
The rumor is a Nintendo Switch Pro,
What would it do?
just a more powerful system. But
But if the game's already made, like,
that's why Nintendo's kind of saying it's not.
yeah, is
Don't
Luigi's
expect
Mansion
it.
3 gonna look any better?
Yeah.
Oh, this looks slightly better. Well, I gotta spend $200. No. I mean, some people are like
I'm
that.
not getting
I'm
it.
not one. Of
There's
the people.
nothing. I
I'm
mean,
happy
the
with
only
mine.
thing that I would do is if Nintendo was like, "Hey, we're gonna put out a Nintendo Switch Pro." If they said we put more internally in, like processing wise, to do more things. So, like now, if I play a game with you, I can plug a headset into my Switch and talk to you through my Switch.
Oh yeah.
Like something like that, or like if it had a built-in microphone where I could hold my Switch, talk to it, and
Yeah.
then plug headphones in so I can listen to us and like automatic. Like say you join my island, immediately the game has the built-in stuff for like an
Okay,
online
yeah,
chat,
like a Bluetooth
yeah.
headset.
anything like
But
that.
that's something they should do for all Switches. Like,
Yes.
You can actually do that if you have your Nintendo Online Switch app. You can do that.
Yeah,
get the Nintendo-
but then you have to have your phone next to you
Yeah.
while you're playing. If that was if they made a pro version and they eliminated doing it through a phone and it was through the system, That would entice me to
I
get
don't
it.
like that you can't send messages to each other. Like Xbox and PlayStation, you can.
Yeah.
Switch, you can't. Like, why can't you?
Yeah, that would be my thing. If Nintendo Switch was like, hey, we're going to do this Pro thing, and the Pro is going to be more geared toward like a bigger hard drive space.
That's the main things I care about: bigger hard drive space, more battery life in the Switch,
better battery life, and more functionality with
and
online.
maybe more durable. If you drop it, not that you're dropping it.
Yeah,
but,
that would be the only thing I would need. I would need it just that. It would be nice to sit there and make like group chats and party chats and send messages to one another and have automatic voice chat and not have to go through a phone.
And how about achievements?
Achievements 100%.
That
I
should've
would
been
love.
from
That's
day
why
one.
I divert myself away from certain Switch titles.
That's why I only play the only games I play on Switch are the games that are only on Switch.
Yeah.
Like even like I'll go with Xbox on that. Like achievements are the way to go when it comes
Yeah.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Streets of Rage 4 is coming out with the collector's edition this week.
Yeah,
and
eventually
too.
it's all it comes with a metal cartridge and like the old Genesis box, two Genesis boxes, the hard shell
Genesis
and the soft
boxes.
shell.
Then they
Soundtrack,
have
a big statue.
Big statue,
It's
and
awesome
then they have the roasted chicken. And it was like
Yeah.
it's like a squeeze ball or something.
That's how
like
you
that.
get your health. You punch you punch the barrel and there's a chicken.
$150.
That's not
150
bad.
Oh,
For what you get.
for all the shit that you get in
The
that.
statue's
holy
this big
shit!
of Blaze and Axel.
Yeah, it's nutty. I'm really psyched for that.
And you get the game.
And that's actually coming out April 30th.
holy shit! Wow,
yeah,
already,
we're
wow.
getting up to that point. Yeah,
I might
yeah,
grab it for the Switch.
Yeah, you
definitely.
could just buy the regular game. You could buy the.
Oh,
download, too.
100% pick it up. You're
Is
not going
there-
to be.
Real quick though, is there anything else Animal Crossings before we dive deeper into this Streets of Rage and then get into our last topic?
The only thing I would say is there is talk of Brewster's coffee shop coming to the museum because of some
okay.
data mining, and a museum store also coming. We'll probably get that pretty soon. And if you all did the update, you should have Red and Leaf by now. And there should be some special like Earth Day and May Day events coming up very, very soon. And the Earth Day stuff should already be going on.
I'm killing it with Earth Day stuff. I have like 20,000
I'm-
Nook Mile things that I'm just sitting on because I don't really spend them on anything.
Yeah, same here. I just cash them in for bells at this point. But yeah, that's what's going on. Those are the next two rumored stores to be coming. But I did also hear some talk that we might get Gracie and we might get Harriet. Gracie is a giraffe who sells very expensive, high-priced fashion, and Harriet is a poodle that does more hairstyles than what we already have.
Hey, why not? have more?
So I've been hearing some talk about that. They're both really good characters. That's all I've really heard so far. But I'll keep paying attention to different rumors and things.
You know what would be cool?
Oh, one more thing. Sorry.
That's all right.
One more thing. We were talking about some of the fish and how like they would be good to cook and things. There's also rumors that they might incorporate a cooking aspect to the game because a lot of the
Interesting.
Nintendo Animal Crossing fans want that. We've never had that Animal Crossing before, and they're probably going to put a diving part into it because the last game did have where you can dive for certain like seafood and certain like sea critters and things. And there is some data already for that for people who know how to do data mining. They've reported that.
Yeah.
that would add a lot to the
so-
game.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one of the things that I
Yeah.
didn't like about the game is I felt there isn't much more to do except catch fish.
I
catch
heard
bugs.
about the diving because the huge hint of it was the Manila clams, where you dig up on the
Yes.
beach, and so that's what they're trying to incorporate.
Make those
overall. That's
stackable.
awesome.
That'd be great. That's all I
Yeah,
asked for.
yeah.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
You know what? Like I said, what they should add, they should have a store where you can buy Nintendo outfits, like Mario's outfit, Princess's dress, all that stuff. That would be
Oh,
pretty
you
cool.
can.
Can
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
You can. They do have a Mario and Luigi outfit.
Yeah.
Usually sold through the
Clothing store.
retailers.
The little Sonic the Hedgehog looking guy.
Yeah. So here's a few things I would like. My bucket list, my wish list for Animal Crossings. One, I want pretty much everything in that data mine would be fantastic. I want two things. Well, two main things for me. I want some of the items I need to be stackable, and I need stackable more than 30.
Yeah.
All items should be stacked.
Yes,
99.
I agree. with that.
99 stackable, I agree. If you could put bells to 99, you should be able to put wood and everything else to 99. Number
I agree
two,
with that.
I would like crafting, or like not just crafting, but when you buy stuff from the store, or when you buy stuff not so much from the store but from your computer, or when you're crafting. So say if I go out today and I go and I get 100 clams and I want to make all that into food. fish food. I got to keep standing there and smashing my A button over
You should
and
be-
over.
So to make it like a
one,
counter,
make 10.
like how many,
Yeah.
like how many? Yeah,
you have this many clams, you can make this many fish
Yes.
food, and you hit the button and it automatically crafts all that.
And you've made a stack of 10.
Exactly. I would love that. And like when I'm going to buy tickets and I gotta do one, and then I have to go back into the computer to then get another ticket because it takes you all the way back out.
how many tickets would you like?
Yes.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like that.
Everything in the game should be like that.
I would also like just to
And
add on
my
top
last
of that.
my
Go
last
ahead.
thing, sorry. When you're in the clothing store, there is a thing you can go to the back of the store and put people's codes in to find stuff. I know the code's cool and it makes it easier, but they should also add to it where it's like, hey, today's top downloaded items are these 100 things.
yeah, that'd be cool.
And
Yeah,
kind of
or
like
even top
key
5.
search, like Batman.
Yeah.
And anyone who made something of Batman, it pulls all that up instead of going online and trying to find all that stuff. I think that would be cool to add a little more interaction. And I think if people download your item, it should give you a bell. Like if you hit
Yeah,
so
like-
many
yeah.
downloads, you should get like credit, like
bells,
bells
yeah.
or something like that.
I'll
Yeah,
even
that's a good
go.
idea.
I'll even go one step further with you then too. If you're looking for a particular outfit, and it'll be a notification on the phone saying new Batman item when you're online. To do that, not only that, you could even have an indicator if you have so many of a certain item with your favorites. It'll flash on your phone like favorites. How you can craft that versus how many do I have, and trying to keep a mental head count. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That'd be another small but nifty feature.
yeah,
Unbreakable tools.
yeah. The gold ones even break. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
They
freaking
should not
bullshit.
break, yeah.
That's freaking
That's
bullshit.
new.
I think
Yeah,
once
they never did that before.
I think once you hit the goal where it says you have to break so many tools,
Yeah.
that should unlock something where once you beat that achievement,
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have now figured out how to make an unbreakable tool.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Unless if they're
Yeah, that'd be
if they're
great.
gonna go with like a diamond tool, you never know. But
I just got an item.
That'd be pretty
I got an
interesting.
item in my shop right now that I don't even know how to get some of the items to make it. I've never heard of them. Have you ever heard of the Tauros gems yet?
Oh yes, I have some of those. My sister just got some of the Tauros.
What the hell are they?
You get them from wishing on the stars.
yeah, they're constellation
I've never seen a star
related
yet.
items.
Yeah.
Like if you
Yeah.
go for like shooting stars, there's like star fragments, large star fragments, Taurus fragments.
How do you even do that?
Basically, what Bree's saying, you have to hear like a little tink, and what you want to do.
I play the game on mute, so I never hear it.
So what you would want to do, have the volume up, and then have nothing in your hands,
Yeah.
and you look up at the sky with the camera, and you press A, and that will have you wish on a
Really?
star.
Oh, wow.
And then the next day, you walk out to the beach, and there's star fragments instead of shells.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes.
cool. I've never heard of that.
My problem is I cannot listen to that song over and over and over and over again. So I
Well-
play the game on mute.
Well, when you're walking around your island, there's just like ambient. It's
Yeah.
just like there's no music.
I get that little bit of like I don't know, just some of
It's
those
kind of
noises.
just like the
It just
when you go in your
fucking-
house, there's music.
Yeah, it
Well,
just
the
drives me-
place-
some of that shit just
but when
drives me
you're walking
crazy.
around your island, there's
Yeah.
no music.
Yeah, some of that stuff drives
The
me
only other
nuts.
thing you could do is just stare at the sky the whole time, and
Yeah.
when you see a shooting star, press A. But I think that's more boring
Oh my
than
God.
Just turning their
listening to the
volume
same
up,
song
yeah.
over and over.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, that's the. So
Go
you
ahead.
have Aries star pieces, you have Tauros star pieces, and then you have small star pieces and large star pieces. And for however many stars you wish on, you'll just get a random amount. And they just keep appearing on your peach randomly throughout the whole entire day until you've collected however many star fragments, Aries fragments, Tauros fragments, until the game decides to give you. So say you collect, you wish 300 stars. You may get 300 pieces, you may not, you don't know. It's
Yeah.
just going to be random, but they'll appear on your beach all day long until the game has decided to give you whatever random amount they're going to give
I
you.
have a Tauros
and then
tub.
you craft.
I got that, and I got the
that's cool.
Aries chair then too. Well, not on me, but I got the DIYs for them.
Yeah, I have the DIY for
Yes.
a Tauros tub where it's like a giant bowl tub.
And it's like made with like gold. It looks like
Yeah.
like pearlescent and all too. I think solely if you're getting certain fragments, they're going to actually be depending on what constellations there are at the like in the sky.
Yeah.
So that should be
Yes.
interesting.
All right, well let's is there any features on Animal Crossing that you guys would like before we wrap this one up?
I already said mine, so we're good. And I agree with you 100% on yours then, Tony.
More stuff.
when
to
I
do.
buy the
That's-
outfits, I would like to keep track of the outfits, the shoes, and the tights and socks that I buy, because sometimes I buy so many I can't keep track of it.
There should be a
'cause-
closet
Yeah.
where you just put clothes in.
Yes.
Or like if you're at the store, it gives you a little notification that you already own this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yes, that's what I would like. That's
Yeah.
what I would like. And of course, the unbreakable tools I would like.
Oh,
I
I
would
got.
like bigger pockets than 40, and I would also like everything to stack.
See, I wouldn't
That's
mind.
about it.
I don't mind 40, but I want more. It should go higher in the stacking.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
Yes.
40 is huge if everything stacked higher. It would
Right.
balance out better. What was the last thing I just thought of as you were saying it? Shit.
I would just say
Clothes,
diamond. I would say
stacking,
diamond tools.
pockets.
That would be unbreakable. Really.
That would be nice.
Oh, I'm stuck at a point where I have pretty much my museum done, and I bring him at least 6 fossils every day.
Yeah.
And none of them I can donate. Like I'm at that point where, and I don't know what I need because I don't have a checklist, and I'm not walking through the whole museum
Yeah.
to look. I'm not fucking doing it.
Plus, you don't know what you're getting when you just get a fossil.
Yeah. So I'm at the point now
That
where
sucks.
like I only probably need maybe a handful of
Yeah.
fossils, and I'm just not getting them. Yeah, that's
Yeah, they're making the fossils harder to get in this game compared to last games. The complete Animal Crossing guide comes out, I want to say, next week. You can get it on Amazon for $18.99, very cheap compared to everyone else who wants to sell it for $30. I did order it. So
how up to date is that going to be though? Because like in 4 months, it's going to be completely.
The Pokemon
brand-
one came out after, like, it was like 4 weeks after. And I was like,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I did order it. I'm guessing that everything that they have plans for probably will be in there.
You know,
My
what'd
sister
be,
was telling me
you know, what'd
today
be awesome if
that
Animal
she-
Crossing did if you paid like $5 or $10
For a digital one.
for a digital app, and then as the game adds new stuff, it adds to your digital app. As like, I think it'd be a more eco-friendly way and a more updated to stay updated with your game when instead of buying a strategy guide.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, to kind of answer your question, is my sister said she read somewhere today that Animal Crossing has enough data and events planned for 3 years.
Wow.
Wow, is right.
So it probably has maybe enough of that kind of information in there, and then I guess when the 3 years pops up, she's the one that was talking to me about Harriet today, actually.
Yeah.
So that's more of like a long extended rumor. I don't know when
that
we'll
makes
get
sense
Harriet.
then. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
just, it'll probably tell you at a certain, like, hey, if you flip this next page, you may spoil something for yourself
Yeah.
at Christmas or
Did you
something.
see it sold more copies than Zelda and Mario?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Something
I believe
like that.
it.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Animal
the
Crossing
pandemic.
sold more than Zelda.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Saved their day.
That
All
is
right.
crazy.
So our little bit of last news here, which is probably going to take long. We are at the around hour 13-minute mark just for the episode. That's not counting intro and music. So I'm not sure what we're going to get into when it comes to topics of what we're into or what we're playing. But our last topic of the night, which I think is definitely going to take a bit of time up, a lot of Marvel news. So I know Matt is really into the Marvel thing, and so Matt, give us a little rundown of what you heard or what's going on with Marvel movies being set back.
Yeah, well, it took me way too long into this episode to realize that the first 15 minutes we talked about this wasn't on air. So, I talked about the Easter eggs before we were on air, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so before going to the future Marvel thing, we'll talk about the quick Easter egg news. So, the Easter egg news, there's been a lot of people that closely follow Marvel know that James Gunn has said in interviews that there is a giant Easter egg in the original Guardians of the Galaxy movie that nobody's discovered yet. And this week he's confirmed that people have now figured out about 70% of it. And basically what it is, you can get the full story of what it is on a new Rockstars channel, but basically the idea is in the coordinates, when they translate, that if you freeze the frame, you get a picture and the coordinates that relates to that scene. So there's a scene where they're in a celestial head and the coordinates come up. If you freeze the image there, it will say something about Meredith Quill. And also there's some that say, like, this is not real, blah, 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 blah. Essentially, the idea is he hid the fact in the movie that Peter Quill's mom is actually a higher being within the Marvel universe. She is not only human. The body that died within the movie is probably her human body that died, similar to how Ego had a human body in the second one. So some of them say like this is Meredith's cancer, and when you pause the frame, it looks like a cancer molecule. It's actually really interesting. So James Gunn squeezed all these Easter eggs into the movie pertaining to that, and the music itself actually ties into she's a higher being type thing. So there's a very deep meaning to the first Guardians of the Galaxy that they're finally starting to expose. They're going to cover more of that coming up in the future movies with, it's not really a spoiler because who knows how much it's going to get touched on because it's such a subtle thing. But there are more things coming out in the future movies with the high evolution series and stuff like that. So who knows how they're going to tie it.
Yeah, it's crazy all that. You're cutting out.
Yeah, it's actually awesome. The new Rockstars channel, if you go on it, you can watch every Easter egg breakdown of every Marvel movie, and they're phenomenal. They do such an awesome job, and it makes you really appreciate the job the Marvel directors do in squeezing in all these Easter eggs into the bigger story, too. It will trip you out, some of them, when you go on a marathon of all the Easter eggs and what it foreshadows and stuff like that.
And that's like a lot of work for not a big payoff, you know?
Exactly. So the reason Jon Favreau did not want to direct the later Iron Man movies is because all the Marvel directors got together basically and they decided we're going to squeeze all these Easter eggs in for comic book references and just any purpose for Easter eggs. And Jon Favreau was like, I don't want to do that. He's like, that's not filmmaking to me. I'm not going to do it. So that's the real reason why he stopped doing the Iron Man movies, because he didn't want to squeeze in so many Easter eggs in between story.
Yeah, why would you give credit to the thing that you're making your movie about?
Like I can see that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I love somebody else to do that. Like, still direct a movie, but then this guy's like, I'm just gonna put this here in the background. Because
if you do a few of them, okay, but not like fucking pepper you with
if
them.
We have this picture of like this comedian here, and and there's a scene where the two characters are talking, and this is in the background. That doesn't change the scene.
Yeah.
No. But when someone says, "Oh,
exactly," yeah, and that's how a lot of the Easter eggs are too. Like, there's a scene in the Hulk movie, the original one, where he opens a drawer and there's an original Captain America comic. Like it's as basic as it can get.
Yeah. Fun fact: a lot of your favorite people who are in movies don't even read the books of the characters they're playing.
Some do. Right. That's when I think they play the character a little bit better when they actually dive in.
You know who said never read a comic book the entire time he was playing the character?
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Jr. I don't think he's ever read a comic book in his life.
Nope.
John Bernthal was probably the only guy that he literally said, I'm playing as Punisher. What book should I read?
And Marvel
like
sent
somebody,
him a stack.
No, it was a comic book shop that he went into. I think in New York, and they were like, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Go for it. And Bernthal fucking did it.
He read a bunch. Somebody else read a bunch. I forget
Ryan
who it was.
Ryan Reynolds was really into Deadpool. That's why when he did the first movie, he's like, I hate this. And then when he did it again, he's like, oh, I want to do X-Force. He's the driving factor behind the character, saying, I want to do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And why he's hinting at, I want to do something with Spider-Man, because he knows the character. From the comics.
Yeah, I think when you research the character, you play it better. Yeah. I mean, obviously Robert Downey's really good.
I think even Benedict Cumberbatch actually did something with Doctor Strange.
I gotta eventually break down and watch that fucking movie.
Benedict Cumberbatch did a lot of research, so much so that he was fascinated by all the conjuring and hand movements in the comics. So he actually hired a street dancer to teach him hand tutting.
Wow!
Oh wow!
So he could play the role more accurately. Yeah, it's. New Rockstars broke that down too, but you can see all the movements in his hand from this street tutter that he learned.
Paid off
in
the solo bedroom too.
Yeah,
gives himself the best HJs.
Has to, but but there's a lot of like subtle details where Benedict Cumberbatch is so into the role. Like there's a scene in Endgame where he's about to the water's coming down onto the battlefield and he turns it into a tornado to keep it from spilling onto the battlefield. And if you zoom in on his hand during that scene, his hand's shaking from the surgery that he had. Like he's definitely the one that took his acting to the next level with it.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I think that Robert Downey Jr. is an awesome Iron Man. He is Iron Man in my opinion.
Yes.
But Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange is close to, if not as good as Robert Downey Jr. is as Iron Man.
Well,
I agree.
The thing with Robert Downey Jr. is that's just amazing casting. Where he didn't even
that's
Right.
just kind of him.
Yeah,
Yes.
he doesn't really. It's not a shoot.
Yeah.
It's not a very big leap for him to play that character because it's just like, hey, this is you. For
Yeah,
the most part. Yeah.
Did you guys ever cover who was supposed to play Iron Man before he was cast?
No.
No.
The dude that played Justin Hammer in the first two movies.
Oh, really? Wow. That'd
Yeah,
be
he
a
was
lot let
supposed to
down
be Iron Man.
because he wasn't that famous. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Nope.
Do you see that meme where it's like when you're Doctor Strange, you're telling Iron Man to wait 1 minute because Captain Marvel can save the day, and he goes and kills himself.
I know. I didn't see it.
I didn't know.
It's a meme, and it just and it's Doctor Strange going like 1, and then it says when you're telling Iron Man to wait 1 second because Captain Marvel can save the day,
Yeah.
and he goes and kills himself, and then the next picture is Michael Stott doing the face.
That's funny.
Oh yes, I did see that. Yes, that was funny.
Yeah, so the Marvel universe is definitely going to be held up for a bit, but
Well, yeah. To get to that, that was the check out the Easter egg thing because it's really awesome. But the next thing right now pertaining to the future is Robert Downey Jr. He just had a movie bomb, the Dr. Dolittle, which it wasn't bad, it wasn't great. I watched it. But now he's in renegotiations to come a Marvel. But the interesting thing they did is Marvel, and this dials into them pushing everything back. The one interesting Marvel did is they love media. In fact, they push money into media a year and a half before a movie comes out. Like they'll push so much money and attention into the movie before it comes out. But with the Robert Downey Jr. thing, they announced, somebody leaked that he was in renegotiations to come back, and Marvel stepped on it. You read that one day, and then it was gone. If you didn't see it that day, you probably haven't heard about it because Marvel's PR machine killed the story because there's weight to it. Whenever there's weight to something going on in Marvel that they don't want you to know, they kill it. They have people in departments to kill stuff like that.
I actually did read this, that he is in renegotiations. I read that when it first came out, and then I didn't see anything else about it, and I wondered why.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I guess that's why.
Who do you think would be a
No,
bigger?
kill thing.
Who do you think would be a bigger pop? I know, like for people, it's obviously going to be Iron Man, but like if you turn the next movie on, right, and they're like, hey, we have this group of people that are really fantastic, and all of a sudden they show the beginnings or the teasings of Fantastic Four, or they say, we have these really impressive teenagers that we found living in New York, and
Or there's some being that's out in outer space.
Why they didn't help fight Thanos, we don't know, but
yeah,
we'll get
like
to that.
but you'll like where they kind of tease X-Men or they tease Fantastic Four, or somehow they're like, we need one guy to help us here, and all of a sudden you see like someone walk into frame and it's just like their hand, and all of a sudden the claws shoot out, or you see Robert Downey Jr. walk back in frame. What would be the biggest pop for you right now?
Ooh.
The Wolverine one's going to be the biggest. I think out of anything, even if they don't show the actor, just show claws.
So you mean whose premiere would you be most excited about?
Yeah,
For me, it would either be Silver Surfer, because I think he's such an awesome character. I know Adam Warlock is coming, but I think Adam Warlock is going to be a good one.
See, I disagree. I think your average cinematic Marvel
Has no idea who
has
that
no
is.
idea who Adam Warlock
Right.
is.
Even Silver Surfer's
And
This is
those
just
Easter eggs have been going over most of the cinematic
Yeah.
universe.
He was at
fans
the end
has.
of 2, wasn't he? Or the end of 1?
I agree
Guardians
with that.
1.
Most current Marvel fans have no idea who, like, I don't think they know really who X-Men are. Unless they saw the first movies, and I don't think they know who Adam Warlock is.
I
don't think they know much about the Silver
They definitely know
Surfer.
X-Men.
They definitely know X-Men because there's been so many X-Men movies.
Yeah, you'd have to know. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know.
And-
I hope so.
You wouldn't
Because
maybe
in
know
some of the
Nightcrawler.
groups I'm in, I'm not being rude or anything, but in some of the in the Marvel and like geek groups I'm in, people like don't really care about X-Men, don't seem to know much about them,
Yeah.
and they only really care about Avengers.
It might be
They don't
because-
I get what you're
know
saying. They're like
There's-
bandwagon
Yeah.
fans,
Yeah,
basically.
they're cinematic universe.
They're
fans.
probably because they weren't accessible for Marvel. They're like, well, we don't like them now.
yeah.
But it's like,
That's they're the Marvel characters who are not part of our Marvel cinematic.
if you have a
universe.
picture and it's Captain America, Wolverine, and Iron Man, most comic fans are going to know all the people.
yeah,
Right.
Yes. But
And-
say you show them a picture of like Jubilee or
Yeah.
Psylocke
They
or
might- yeah.
Storm,
Or even Colossus
like, you
then,
might-
too.
Colossus
They-
will be
the
fine
one-
because he was in Daredevil. He was in Deadpool, so
Yeah.
they'll know
Yeah.
that one.
Mhm.
I think
Kitty Pryde, they might not know.
Yeah, that's
I'm
in
not
the
being
deeper
mean
cuts.
to anybody.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I'm not being mean.
I missed Yeah, I misunderstood your question, but now I get it. It would either have to be Wolverine or somewhere along that line. Maybe like Rogue. Rogue is actually a very popular character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably say
Or like
it would have
or the Netflix versions of Daredevil
that
and
would
Punisher
be a big
walk on.
pop if any
Yeah.
of them came. But I think Wolverine's the
They're
biggest right
actually
now.
that is actually something I completely forgot about, but they said they are not done with the Daredevil character yet, and I hope
series
they
was
keep
fantastic.
Charlie Cox. Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope they keep Charlie Cox on because he was good as it. Like that was a much better one than Ben Affleck one because the Ben Affleck
absolutely.
one he's all jacked up. Like I didn't like that one as much. The Charlie, yeah, he's good as him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they would keep all them characters, bring them right over.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake they made with that series is they put the Defenders out on their own.
A little too soon.
I would have introduced all those characters in Daredevil first.
Yeah.
Like Jessica Jones, all those characters would have had a run with Daredevil and then had their own show.
And I would have did one series of each.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of did that. Like they did that with Punisher and stuff like that. They actually think one of the ways they talked about
And Punisher's the only one
Daredevil,
they didn't have to do that with.
Yeah.
you could have just dropped a Punisher show and everyone would have been cool with it. You know what I mean? Like, but here's the thing: for how many, you can't see my fingers, but Marvel fans, quote Marvel fans we have in the universe now because of the cinematic universe. Most
that
Marvel
don't know
fans,
it's Marvel.
they don't know
Yeah.
anything about Marvel because they're not comic book fans. They're cinematic universe fans.
Yeah, so they only know the
when
movie.
people
A
are
lot of
like,
people don't know Blade was Marvel.
yeah, when people,
Yeah.
there's people to this day that say, "Man, I'm really happy we got Black Panther because it's our first black superhero on film." We had Blade fucking 10 years ago.
Blade,
You know what I mean?
95.
We
Like,
even had Spawn too.
yeah, we've had
And
Spawn.
we had Storm
yeah.
in the original X-Men. We
Exactly.
had Storm,
It's-
even though she was Halle Berry,
Yeah.
not the best representation of Storm, but
Yeah.
we still had
I
Storm.
liked her Storm, to be honest.
Really? Well, I didn't know.
I was okay with her.
She-
Storm's my
physically,
favorite.
she-
I'm very picky.
She looked
Yeah.
good, but I
Gotcha.
didn't like Halle Berry has an
Just
attitude.
keep her away from Catwoman.
I just got a cool idea. If it would have came out like in the early '80s, late '90s, who could have been a perfect rogue?
I have no idea,
Katie Seagal. If she would have worked out and all,
I
could
don't
you
know.
imagine her?
Peg Bundy?
She would be a
Yeah.
little too old
As Rogue?
I think.
Yeah, she'd. I
No.
think she'd fulfill that.
No.
But she'd be
Why
about 10
not?
years older.
She'd
I
be
love
like a
Anna
little bit like
Paquin.
that, like that little bit of that cougar, you know.
Yeah, but
Rogue's
Rogue
cougar
Rogue
war.
would be about 22. She'd be 20, 25.
Yeah.
Well then,
What about Rachel Lee Cook?
I'm not sure who that is.
She's hot. Oh, she's fucking gorgeous.
I don't know who that is either.
That's all I could think of when you said that.
I heard the
That
name.
was one of
I'm gonna Google
my
it real
childhood
quick.
crushes.
She's all that.
Yeah,
The girl from,
she's.
for the people who are saying they're trying to think
Oh
who she is.
yeah,
she's all
I
that.
think I know who you're talking
I
about.
think,
Yeah.
aside from Wolverine,
She's
and
also
I'm just
the
saying.
Josh
I'm just saying, like
Hartnett movie.
80s,
We're
90s,
stepping on each
80s,
other.
90s. Sorry about that. I was just saying 80s, 90s casting,
Oh,
like
okay.
how they do like that casting of
if
like.
the movie would have came out then.
Yeah,
Oh,
that time.
80s,
Yeah, that's what I
90s.
meant with
Oh,
Katie
yeah, she
Seagal.
would
She would have
she'd
been
be-
excellent with that.
She'd be a cute rogue.
I really thought. I thought Anna Paquin was a good rogue. I hated the story. I hated her storyline in the movie. I thought she played it well. I thought she was given bad lines, basically.
I thought her
Yes.
story was terrible.
I just wanted a
was
southern accent
horrible.
on her.
What?
I just wanted a
They
southern
made her
accent on her.
Jubilee.
Yeah.
They made her Jubilee instead of just putting Jubilee in. Just
then-
put Jubilee in.
And then Shadow Cat was
all
kind of Jubilee, and she was kind of rogue. It was the placement of the characters were. Yeah, I want her to come back. Hey, sugar, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
in
I don't
case
care
you
if
guys
it's
don't
corny.
know, in case you guys don't know, we think we know how Rogue is coming into the MCU. They announced when they did the pushbacks, which I promise I will get to. When they did the pushbacks, they announced some of the release dates of the other movies to sort of like soften the blow.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that the one they officially confirmed was the second Captain Marvel. And the idea is that Rogue will be coming into Captain Marvel as a villain, which was her original comic book origin. So that's probably how we're getting Rogue in the MCU.
Yeah,
She was
and
a villain?
Thank God.
she zaps Miss Marvel and takes all her powers, and she loses her powers then, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So-
That's
and
right.
that's
Yeah.
how, and that's how Rogue gets
Yeah.
the ability to fly and super strength. Because
Right.
all she could do is just absorb powers, and she has them limited. Like, but once she absorbs Miss Marvel's powers, then she has them permanently. Because Miss Marvel, does,
Right.
the whole thing like she's
only thing-
half Korean or whatever, but that's how she got her powers.
The only thing I didn't like about the announcement, and this is going to sound whatever, but the only thing I didn't like about the announcement is they're sticking with Brie Larson. And I know people hate her because of like her politics, and that is not me at all. I think those dudes are incels and they should go fuck themselves or whatever. But she's just not great in that role. Like the first Captain Marvel movie, there was like borderline cringy moments of her acting. I didn't think it was very good, so I was hoping they might recast that.
See, I don't mind her, but I guess they signed her for a couple deals, so she's staying. I don't. I wouldn't have picked her for Captain Marvel just based on how she looks. I mean, nothing.
I was
nothing
thinking
against
with
her,
how
but...
with how much of a pain in the ass Norton became, Ed Norton, when he was in the Hulk, and they cut him off. I was hoping they would kind of do the same with her.
Wow.
Because it seems like she brings so much bad publicity.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And also, like, her acting's very robotic. Like, I was very excited for the Captain Marvel thing, but it's like she's it's literally like she's a robot. Like, she has no range of emotion.
I agree with that. I do
the Twilight
like
girl.
her.
Ooh, I don't know this
some
actress's
roles.
name. Do you know this girl's name?
Go ahead, Ree.
I do like Brie Larson in some roles, but I do agree she could do a little bit better with her emotional expression. Other than that, I don't really have a problem with her. I agree with Andy and you, because I spoke with Andy about this and other times. We don't really care about what her politics are.
No, neither do I.
Politics should be included in whether or not you like an actress.
Yeah, because
politics
you're not going to agree
are
with
completely
everybody.
separate.
Because I'm sure
I'll
not.
take it a step further. I agree with half of what she says with the women's issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I agree with some of it.
Yeah, some of it is good.
Yeah, she is definitely too much of a social justice warrior, too much of like why isn't a woman of color interviewing me? Like that stuff's ridiculous. But some of the other stuff I do agree with. So it's not that I don't like her politics. It's just if you watch Captain Marvel, go back and watch the first scene where she comes in to fight Amun Rag or whatever his name is. When she's like, "You want to fight?" It's like the corniest scene I've ever seen in my fucking life.
I have to rewatch that. I like Captain Marvel, but I like the character.
Yeah.
But if she was recast, I wouldn't be upset. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And I don't care about politics. And I tell people this, like,
I don't
out of
either.
all the people in the movie, Robert Downey and Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, you're not going to agree with all their politics either, because I'm sure they're not all exactly what you are, you know? So that's a
Exactly. I love Clint Eastwood movies, and I think he's insane. Like, I love Clint Eastwood. I think he's a dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit extreme too. Yeah, but I think you just need to keep that stuff out of their acting in their movies. Just focus on their acting and what you think about that. But we can't tell people how to think or how to feel. They're going to think and how they feel.
Yeah.
They're going to think and feel how they want, you know. But I just focus on what I think of them as an actor and how they do in their roles. I don't consider their politics and religion.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. No, same here. And it's I love the other women in the MCU. I think Gwyneth Paltrow is a fucking crazy person. I think she's bad for this world, but she's awesome as Pepper Potts.
Yeah, she is.
Like,
Yeah, she does wonderful as her. She's really great as her. Yeah.
yeah, Scarlett Johansson is an unbelievable Black Widow. I can't imagine anyone else playing Black Widow other than her. So it has nothing to do with politics. It's just she sucks.
Scarlett's really good looking, obviously, but when it comes to like acting, I feel like anyone can be Black Widow. Like I don't think she's ever did anything for me for that character.
Well, I mean,
I think she's good. Personally,
I like her, but I mean, that
like
character
her.
was never.
Have you ever watched
Spotlight.
Have you ever watched one of her movies and you're like, holy crap, she stole the show?
No, but I don't think I've ever seen her in anything outside of Marvel movies.
You know who I want?
To be honest,
you know who I want as like I think she's the most badass female actor on the planet, and I wish she got more roles, especially like in this somehow in a DC or Marvel universe. Charlize Theron. I think she's.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she did like.
She'd make a
Atomic
good
Blonde
Captain
and all,
Marvel.
too.
She'd be a great Black Widow. I think she could. I feel like she
I mean,
could be any role.
she's like what?
She even
a
did
little
Mad
bit
Max
older.
too.
So
Yeah,
she's like
she was like
40.
she was actually originally a model, and then she actually
She's
did
hot.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
then,
Did you
too.
see Atomic Blonde, where she's like the female John Wick?
You know what? That's
Yeah.
one of those
She
movies
could
I
be
really
Black-
want
she
to see
could-
in
she could be Black Widow.
theater. Oh,
Yeah.
she would be sick. I personally disagree about Black Widow. I think she's a little too old for Black Widow, but she would be really sick as the headmaster for the Red Room. She would be so
yeah,
good in that
yeah.
role.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would. And I agree with that.
Which
yeah.
I don't know who they got for that. That's the Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
Which was
And,
what, end of.
Speaking of like
March?
actresses and things, I really like how they casted this last Storm. X-Men's my favorite. So like I'm like really hardcore on X-Men. You'll probably learn that about me. So as X-Men comes out and develops, you're going to hear a lot of my thoughts and opinions on that. Super hardcore on X-Men. I was really sad to hear that they're recasting everybody on that. I think they only kept Ryan for Deadpool.
Yeah, I think that's the person I'm keeping.
They're recasting everybody, but I really liked who they had for Storm. She was great. So I'm really sad to hear that we're not going to get to keep her. She was amazing.
What
so
was the last
hopefully,
X-Men movie?
They were.
Apocalypse?
See, this is what happened. The last X-Men movie was Dark Phoenix, and
Oh,
they
that's
were
right.
forced into.
Yeah.
The MCU was forced into a box because Dark Phoenix was dog shit. It was awful,
I didn't see it yet.
I didn't see it.
horrible.
And it's
I'm still going to watch
it's kind
it
of
anyway.
like the lame duck movie because well, none of this matters anyway.
You have to see it just to say you've seen it. But what happened was they
The girl
leveled
who-
themselves.
The girl who plays Sophia Turner, I'm just kind of looking at the cast
I
real
love
quick.
her.
She
I
would
love her.
she would be a good rogue. You dye her hair red with those blue eyes. Oh boy.
I mean,
She
dye
wouldn't
her
be bad. Yeah.
brown and white.
Yeah, she'd be
Or the
good.
brown and white.
I
yeah.
actually, Jennifer Lawrence too. If they figure a way to get her into the MCU, I thought she was awesome as
Mystique.
what's her face? Yeah, Mystique. She was awesome as
Young
Mystique.
Yeah, she was good.
Now,
She was good.
my Storm, my dream Storm would be, but she just got cast for the Batman movie to be Catwoman, but Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Okay, yeah.
Or even the girl
Oh, she is good.
That's awesome casting, by the way.
or even the
That's
girl
gonna
who
be
just
awesome.
played Black Canary
Maybe she
in the
could
Harley Quinn movie.
Oh, yeah, I
She
didn't
would
see
be a
it.
dope Storm.
They could do both. They could be
Yeah.
DC and Marvel. Why
I'm not up on my actors at all. So
Oh, that one. That
I can't
speaking
pick
of that
anyone.
movie, who was the one that played the Huntress? She would make a good rogue because she's like in that age range.
She's a little
She would
older,
be good.
but she's really good too. I agree. She's a good actor. Yeah, an actor. You could say actor for girls right now. That's the new role. It's not actress. It's
Yeah.
actor. Yeah.
I think we're gonna see the young X-Men because I think it's gonna have something to do with the
Yeah.
snap. That,
the only one that's gonna be old is Wolverine, and somehow he's been
Right.
hiding for years.
Yeah.
and Professor X. 'cause he
Honestly,
has to
you're,
Or they'll pull
you're
him
giving
out
me
of the
you're giving me an
multiverse.
X-Men, a whole new X-Men team. Cast everyone,
All unknown.
all unknowns.
Yeah.
Give me all unknowns.
go. That's where we got Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
I think that's what we should do too. Yep.
I'm all for that.
And they better do a good job with all of them.
I would love
I just wonder,
I'm so
yeah.
mad.
I would love unknowns
wonder
for
what their
Fantastic Four,
history-
and I would like a younger Fantastic Four. Even though I'd really love to see what's his name from Jim from The Office and his wife play.
See,
Yeah.
I kind of want them to be in their 30s.
You want them to be older?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even late
I
30s.
think they're going to go with an older Reed Richards, and
I
I think it's going to be John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
Yeah,
I do think that.
I think they're
I
signed
heard that
already.
they already spoke to John. I don't know about Emily, but I heard that they already spoke to John.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I would love for him to play.
I agree with
I'm
that.
okay if Torch is like 22,
Yeah.
and then the rest of them are a little bit older.
Here's my thing: no origin story. We don't need it.
Well, they kind of have to.
You think so?
Yeah.
They're gonna have to.
They
But
have,
you
to,
know,
because,
they have to glaze over
most
it.
people
They
don't
have to
know
glaze over.
Fantastic
At
Four.
least a glaze
You know how like
over.
Batman Superman did the origin was real quick like that.
Like
glaze
during the
over.
opening,
They're going-
like during the opening sequence.
Yeah, something like yeah.
They're
Yeah,
also
glaze
gonna-
over.
Wasn't there?
Well, they're also going to have to do origin because they're going to have to explain if they were already existing. They would have to explain why they weren't in the MCU already.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to do some sort of origin.
Where are
Right.
they?
Yeah.
Unless it just happens now and they're young.
yeah.
Probably doing like some
Why?
like side scenes where like
Wasn't
if they're
there-
like fighting and then they
Yeah.
just see like certain stuff going on and they're going through the transformation of their powers and stuff. That
Well,
would
I
be
mean,
the
well,
way.
I think-
Doctor Strange was fighting during the first Avengers movie. You just didn't know what was happening because he was fighting in a different side of the city.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
No, that's not Doctor. That wasn't Doctor Strange. That was the Sanctum Sanctorum.
But they were
And
fighting.
I think.
Yeah, no, they
Doctor
were
Strange-
fighting, but it was Doctor Strange didn't exist yet. They did
Yeah, he
his
didn't
origin.
have his stone and his powers yet.
Okay.
He was a doctor.
It was the ancient.
It was
one.
the
Yeah.
ancient
Oh.
one. It was the ancient one on top of the Sanctum Sanctorum that was fighting.
Yeah, and the just real quick, didn't they have a kind of a Fantastic Four Easter egg in one of the Marvel movies already?
Yes,
where they
it was-
talked
it
about
was
they
just-
talked about a
it
solar
was
flare
Spider-Man.
hitting a spaceship in space.
Oh, now that you mention
Yes.
it, yeah.
Which one is
Well,
it? Do you know, Matt?
It was
They-
on the
I
TV.
don't-
It was playing on a TV.
That one I don't know about. But I do know that in the last Spider-Man, when he's gliding through the city, he glides through the Baxter building.
Okay, makes sense.
No,
I'm
Because
pretty
there's the
sure they
atrium.
did, though. I'm pretty sure they did have something that kind of nods to Fantastic Four already.
I think
And
they
they're gonna
mentioned
have to do an
Yancey
origin
Street.
story, I think, to introduce the audience to them, explain why they weren't involved in like Endgame and stuff like that.
Yeah, because
Because I think there are some people out there who probably don't know Fantastic Four, or only know like a little bit about them.
yeah,
And have
I
to
think I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a total. I think it's going to be a total origin story because of the end of Spider-Man. The end of Spider-Man has a sign that says, "We're excited to show you what's coming next," and it's an arrow pointing forward to 4. So
I
they're
saw
obviously they're obviously hinting the Fantastic Four, and then he's going through the Baxter building. So I think they're setting up the origin of these people exist, and now they're turning into the Fantastic Four.
It makes sense.
Yes.
I mean, you can have
I
Reed
think
be a
they will.
scientist for years, and he already invented stuff, so you can have that, and then he gets the powers.
He already owns the building in New York. All that stuff is already in place. Doctor Doom owns his businesses or whatever, and then they're going to give them their powers, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to see how they get their powers and everything like that.
Because the only
Especially Doctor Doom, too.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be a big bad.
I love Doctor
Mm-hmm.
Doom. So
He's
the girl I'm
great.
looking at here that I think would be a fantastic rogue. Let me just find it here. I just lost her name. I was just looking at it. Where are you?
What about Rey from Star Wars? Would you use her for any X-Men character? I think Shadowcat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
If she was
she'd
Kitty
be great.
Pryde,
I
she'd be
agree with that.
perfect.
Shadowcat
Yeah.
would be great for her.
What's her
I
name?
don't know what Keanu-
The girl from, I know she's been petitioning for it too because she's a big fan of the comic. The girl from Pitch Perfect,
I know.
Anna
Anna
Kendrick.
Kendrick, yeah.
She wants to be
Oh,
Squirrel Girl.
yeah. She's really
I
cute.
absolutely
Oh, yeah,
love
she's
her. By the
good.
way.
I just don't see Squirrel Girl
She-
getting a movie anytime
I don't
soon.
see Squirrel Girl appearing in
No.
anything for quite a while.
Yeah.
No.
If I could marry one celebrity right now with a genie hat, it would be Anna Kendrick. 'Cause I
Wow.
love her. Yeah. I feel that strongly. I think she's cute. I think she's hilarious.
Oh, Mark met her and said she was real nice, too. So,
That's
I heard she's nice.
I've never heard a negative Anna Kendrick story.
no, he said she's real sweet.
I wonder, who do you guys think? So Keanu Reeves is almost
Alexandra Daddario.
Oh yeah, she has huge boobs. Sorry, I know who
don't
you're talking
her.
about.
Where's she from?
She was on True Detective.
Oh,
She has
okay. First
piercing.
season or
She has
second?
piercing blue eyes. Like her eyes are unbelievable.
I thought you were going their way
And
there.
huge boobs.
She was in. She played in the new Baywatch movie. She played in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. She was like his niece.
Can you just turn the phone sideways?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I don't. Anyway, would you say Keanu Reeves? I don't know who he would possibly play unless he's a Mr. Sinister.
She would be.
Oh, okay.
fantastic.
Surfer is what I'm thinking.
Or he could be the new Logan, maybe. But I don't know. Jason Momoa is like championing real hard to be Sabretooth or Logan.
See, I don't
And
think they're
I
gonna-
don't think
great
they're
at
going to
both.
put him there because of Aquaman.
Yeah, they won't hire him unless DC says we're never making it in our movie.
Why couldn't he be in both?
Because Aquaman's pretty successful
I
right
don't-
now, and they're not going to.
Yeah,
They're not
He
gonna
would be a
compete
cool
against him,
Lobo,
probably.
but it's
I
no
don't think
chance.
I don't think they're going to cross over because
Yeah.
I mean he might want to do, but Marvel's like, well, you're already in DC and we don't want to.
I kind of
Exactly.
wish. I
They're
kind
not
of wish
gonna
Tom.
compete against him.
And they might even have that in their
that's
contract. You can't be
terrible.
in our superhero movie.
Kind of wish Tom Hardy wasn't playing Venom. He would be a cool Logan.
I don't, is he
Yeah,
small?
he would.
I don't know.
Yeah, he would. That's a
I mean, you
shame
could
that
do
they
movie
can't
magic.
have you be in both worlds because, like, I feel like who cares? Because I like him as Aquaman and I'd like him as Logan or Sabretooth. Like,
He'd
I
be-
really.
he'd be a
Well, that's why
Sabretooth.
both.
Lady Sif
I'm
was.
just saying.
Get Triple H for Sabretooth.
Oh, you could. That the chick that was going to play
Oh,
Lady
you could
Sif was
Sabretooth.
in the running for Wonder Woman, and then Marvel said you can't do that.
Gina Carano.
Aquaman
Gina
was-
Carano should have been Wonder Woman.
She would. I think she would have been all right. Maybe a little bit too big,
I
but
thought Gal Gadot is incredible.
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
Wonder
she's
Woman.
she's smaller, but
I'm
Gina
telling
Gina
you,
Carano.
if she was younger, Lucy Lawless, perfect.
Oh my
If Gina
god.
Carano played like one of the Amazons, I would really like
Yeah,
that.
that would've been cool.
She'd be good She-Hulk too, but
Lucy Lawless,
Supposedly-
yeah.
Yeah, people are
Oh
really.
no, I'm
my
talking about Gina
God.
Carano.
Oh yeah, we forgot. We glazed by it. But when we were talking about the Defenders, one of the ways they're saying they could bring back Charlie Cox as Daredevil is in She-Hulk because
Is that still
there's
Ronda
a
Rousey?
storyline.
No, that wasn't.
Oh,
There's a storyline where She-Hulk is a lawyer, so they're saying that maybe she gets in legal trouble and Daredevil defends her.
Yeah,
That'd be
I have,
dope.
I have a comic where they're both in.
That'd be great.
They're both
Yeah.
defending, but whatever you call it, they're both lawyers in the court.
Yeah.
I might have said this on a previous episode of like fan casting, but here's my pick for a new Logan because I want him shorter, right?
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. No, hear me.
Danny DeVito.
I think he'd be. I think if he grew like, I think he's a very good actor.
Are you gonna say Tom Cruise?
Nope.
God.
I'm going younger. I'm going younger, and I think it'd be a role that people, when they first hear it, they would lose their mind, say no fucking way. But if he fucking legit hit the gym, we put him some steroids in him, and he bulked, not insane bulked up, but just shred up a little bit.
Okay.
Daniel Radcliffe to play Logan.
I don't know.
Oh, I think that'd be fine. Yeah.
Maybe,
I
but
like him.
Wolverine has to be older than everybody.
If you do
does
like
have to be
like
older
an
than
origin
everybody.
or something like.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, I guess you could for Wolverine origin, but you can't have a young Wolverine and a young Cyclops. I mean, unless you want to, but I don't. That kind of ruins the whole story.
If you had to
What
include
if they bring in? What if they bring in Russell Crowe?
Russell
Oh,
Crowe.
I'd be okay
Yeah.
with that too. He'd
I'd
be
be
good.
alright, yeah.
He's a little older, but that would be that he would be
The
okay.
more
How
older
how
and
tall
grizzled-
is he? How tall is
Wolverine's
he?
like 5'2", I think. That's all right. I mean,
I
but
wouldn't get too
anyone
hung
can
up
do.
on height.
Yeah, okay, I mean,
Because
movie
Hugh
magic.
Jackman's like 6'2" or something.
Yeah.
He's very tall.
Russell Crowe's 6 foot even.
I think he'd be.
I was just
he'd be
gonna
good Wolverine.
say,
The more older and grizzled, the better. Actually, I don't want him to look like an real old man. I don't want old man Logan.
Mel
If
Gibson.
he had hair,
Let's go like 30s maybe. Like
gonna
if
lie,
we're
he'd
doing
be
like
pretty good.
20s, maybe like 30s for Logan.
I would like if they had if he had hair, Jason Statham would be awesome
Yeah.
as Logan. I hope they bring
He
him into the
would.
MCU somehow.
he'd be
He can wear a
interesting.
wig.
You know who?
I would bring him in as something.
You know who would be
Bullseye.
good as Absorbing Man.
Yeah, he's not big enough.
But I'm just saying, though,
Bullseye.
with Statham.
Bullseye.
Statham as Absorbing Man.
Bullseye.
I don't know.
Statham would be sick as
He's
like
like a
either a
cheesy.
Silver
I
Surfer or
thought
Doctor
Bullseye has
Doom.
a cheesy
Yeah, Silver Surfer would
mustache
be
and
good.
all too.
I would bring him in. I mean, anyway, you can put a wig on anybody, and
He looks super weird with a wig on, though.
oh, you never know.
Because I would say, like, if you wanted to include Danny DeVito in the Marvel universe, he would be pretty good as a MODOK.
Arcade.
Like,
God,
voice.
Would-
He could be arcade.
Who would
baby.
who would my man crush play? Mark Wahlberg. If you had to put Mark Wahlberg
Oh, I
in
love Mark Wahlberg.
in the
I don't know
Marvel,
who
we'll say
he'd be though.
How old's Mark Wahlberg now? Is he about 50?
50s, but he looks fantastic.
I'm actually going to start
Like-
a
like,
petition
what's
now
his
to
name?
get Jason Statham as Silver Surfer.
There you
Because
go.
now that I'm thinking about
I
it,
like that.
Oh,
What
he'd
if Mark?
be good.
What if
Well,
Mark?
Paul Rudd. I mean, Paul Rudd looks like he's 20.
What if Mark Wahlberg played Thing?
I'm okay with that. I'm
That'd
okay
be
with
good.
him as Mr. Fantastic.
He could play that rugged and still kind of have some humor to him.
It's
What-
clobbering time.
What if he's the Punisher?
Yo.
He doesn't have that high of a register, Ben.
What if he was the Punisher? I mean, if John Barathol isn't.
Yeah.
yeah, he would be sick as Punisher. Jason Statham as Punisher is obvious because he's
Yeah.
already basically played that role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
What do you
he
guys think
did
would be a
Transport
good Gambit?
Mechanic, the
A
mechanic.
good Gambit. I mean, I thought
Yeah,
Channing
I
Tatum
wanna
was
talk
a
to him.
great
The dude
pick.
from
James Franco.
the dude from Supernatural with the longer hair, Gambit
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
Oh
Sam?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
I
love
don't know his real
that.
name.
James Franco as Gambit would be so sick, like a comicer Gambit.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
What about Zac Efron?
I've never
They're-
seen him do anything.
They're thinking about putting him as Adam Warlock. They're going to make him
Yeah, I
Adam
heard that as
Warlock,
well.
apparently.
What did that make him
I like
namer?
him as Adam Warlock.
He would make a
No.
good Johnny Blaze, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would be okay with him.
That'd be all right with Zac Efron.
You'll
yeah.
see a Ghost Rider within 10 years.
Yeah.
100%.
Johnny Blaze, he would be a perfect Johnny Blaze, like the cocky, good-looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nicholas Cage.
And he's
oh my
all
God.
ripped up already.
Ugh.
You
so-
want to make yourself just have a horrible hour and a half. Watch Ghost Rider 2: Spirits of Vengeance.
I hated it. Yeah,
It's
I watched
horrible.
it.
It's like
last month
making
I watched
fun
it
of
again.
Ghost Rider.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
awful. It's like a bad
Shame.
Saturday Night Live
Terrible.
skit.
So is there anything else when it comes to the pushbacks or anything like that you want to cover?
Oh yeah, so just basically, so we
I
have
knew
a
this
new
topic
ad
was going to
in
go
the
crazy.
comments,
That's why I put it towards the end.
Exactly. Yeah. So now as of the pushback, so they've pushed it back twice already, and there's contingencies in case they have to do it a third time. And the reason why, like I mentioned earlier, they put so much money into behind the scenes advertising, as in subtle advertising. They'll send actors out to do press junkets about the last movie, but it's actually setting up the future movies. So a lot of movie companies, what they're doing right now is they're taking their movies and they're putting them onto streaming platforms where you can pay $20 to rent them. The reason Marvel can't do that is because they put so much money into keeping Marvel in the public eye through advertising that by the time the movie's made, the budget is insane. So they would never make their money back. And they have Kevin Feige has a real, and listen, say whatever you want about Kevin Feige, he completely revived Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this basic idea that you need to be releasing so many movies so quickly to keep the storyline memorable.
Relevant.
And yeah, exactly. You need to keep it relevant. So because all the new releases that are already done tie into the ones that are in production right now, they're pushing the whole phase back.
I
And
would
it
want
sucks,
I would
but-
want to be
That kind of sucks.
the big office movie if say if everything opens up late in May, or we'll say Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to be first. Here's what I would do if I was. This is if I'm government, if I'm media, if I'm anything. I would put in if it does go longer, I would put another stimulus check out and get it out there the month, the week, or the 2 weeks before Memorial Day, and then I would want to be the independent wrestling company. I would want to be a movie, television, like not so much television. I think for the next couple months after this whole lockdown is.
You mean the first live events, whatever they happen?
Like first sit-down theater event.
They're all going to be huge business.
Yeah, they're going to
And Marvel has an idea.
Kick down the
I'll
door.
cover Marvel's idea. Marvel released the idea today, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I would want to be that big movie once this all opens up again. I would hate to be.
So-
I would hate to be
Oh,
Netflix
that first
or Hulu.
movie's going to make tons of
I'd
money.
hate to be. I think Netflix and Hulu is going to take a hit when this whole thing goes back.
People will still subscribe because they don't want to unsubscribe. Because
It'll say subscribe, but they won't get the watch numbers.
yes,
They're getting they're kind of getting like the short term of it all then too, just because and
Video game releases, I would hate to be that because people are going to be wanting to go outside again.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, though, right now they're savoring in all the juices with the money as things go.
That's
you
why
know what I mean.
that's why
So-
that's why I'm saying now for for Xbox, I know they're rumoring the first week of May to put out their first conference where they show off the new system and new games. If I'm PlayStation and Xbox, I'm getting my conferences out early May, while people at home
Have
doing
nothing to
nothing,
do. Yeah,
and
yeah,
say
yeah.
no.
so they can
November.
see it. So by the time they do it again in June and then release
Yeah,
in
they're like,
November,
oh yeah, that's coming out. Yeah,
yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, because if we get another wave here, which probably
Which
we
is probably
might,
going to come in the fall. It's almost guaranteed.
so
we will.
there you go. You know what I mean? They already lined it up 100%. They're gonna be eating all those. They're gonna have a feast.
I would, and that's another thing too. Say we get another stimulus check, right? And we get one, or just another one. I would get my pre-orders out around the same time as that stimulus check.
Yeah.
hits, where people can put like $400
Oh, yeah.
without
Oh, yeah.
thinking about it, and say, "Hey, you get your stimulus check. You can go pre-order PS5 or Xbox One." Boom.
I
The
wonder
only
if
problem
they,
with that idea
Wow, that'd be
is the government's handling of stimulus checks and how long. I mean, they're saying mine might be delayed until September. So
You
it's
didn't,
like,
you didn't get your first one yet?
no.
Wow.
That's crazy.
My unemployment
Well,
is
it-
fucking bad right now. Like I'm not getting all like. People were supposed to be getting your unemployment and then supposed to be getting another additional 600.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of that yet.
that sucks.
I got my unemployment.
I didn't get
this-
any of mine either.
Yeah, I got my first unemployment check. Not my first, but my unemployment check for my last paycheck today, and then somebody I work with got like an additional $1,500
Really?
with it because she got her like her I guess the $600 extra and then like back pay and stuff. She got a huge one today, and I only got like a little bit less than what my normal check would
that
be.
sucks.
Yeah.
yeah. It's not like how they say, oh yeah, everyone's getting it. Everyone's getting it.
No.
It's-
yeah, right.
a lot of people-
I ended up getting a stimulus check
Well,
out of that. I'm like,
I got the stimulus. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
just-
because I don't have like a regular 9 to 5. My last tax last year, I had poker winnings that I had to file, and the year before that, I was still fully as a professional poker player. So I was doing that as income, but I'm technically self-employed by their standards,
okay, yeah.
even though I'm under the threshold. Last year, my taxes, because of the incident with my mom, my taxes were under the threshold that I'm still eligible. But because I'm technically self-unemployed, I guess, is the explanation I got. I might not be seeing mine until September.
Wow.
Yeah. So all right, let's get back to this Marvel thing, and we'll wrap this up for
Yep.
today. So go ahead.
Yeah, so all the story, like I said, all the storylines are so involved. So Marvel released an idea today, which I kind of hate. It's that when the first wave is over and everyone's allowed to go back out, they want to re-release Infinity War and Endgame
Nope.
to keep Marvel in the public consciousness. But I don't love the idea. So
Nope.
the reason that they won't
I think it's a terrible idea.
They won't introduce Black Widow right away because Black Widow ties in so heavily to the next phase.
Okay.
And then the same thing with WandaVision. WandaVision sets up Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So because they're so tied into each other, they can't just pick and choose when they want to release them.
I got
They
you.
have this formula that they're following to keep everything in the public consciousness, which is it sucks if you're like a hardcore fan. It makes sense if you're a fair weathered fan, which I think most people are. But it does suck as like a hardcore fan because all these were ready. I mean, Black Widow was supposed to come out in a couple days. I had early release tickets for it for my birthday.
Oh,
It was the
man.
day after my birthday.
Yeah,
See, I wouldn't pay. I love the movies. I'm not going to see Infinity War in the theaters.
I'm
again.
not coming
I
out of
can
a quarantine.
Watch the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm not coming out of a quarantine and sitting in a movie theater and for
Watching
a
an old movie.
4-hour movie that I've already seen.
Yeah.
Nope.
Especially if they do them back to back, it's over 5 hours.
Ugh.
Yeah. Nope. Not doing it.
I won't
Yeah.
do that for 2 new movies.
No.
I'll put it this way. I would give anything to build a time machine and go back to the night Endgame was released, the very first night Endgame was released. Me and my dad went to the very first showing. I would give anything to go back in time and be in that theater again because of the audience reaction. We're all seeing this for the first time, and Endgame was mind blowing the first time you saw it. I would give anything for like my dad's reactions again. Like when all of them are coming out of the portals, my dad was going insane. But to see it again, like you can't recreate that.
No, you can't.
I guess I was the only guy in the theater who it didn't hit like that.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I loved it. I think
Because
everyone
you
loved
haven't
it.
you haven't seen Doctor Strange and you didn't really care about the later movies, so that's why.
There's only two that I didn't see, I think.
I didn't see the new Spider-Man.
No, 3. I didn't see any of the Spider-Mans. I
didn't see the new Spider-Man.
I didn't
either.
see any of the
I heard it's really good.
I didn't see either one of the Spider-Mans yet. I didn't see Thor Ragnarok. I didn't see Doctor
Strange.
And I did.
watch
Oh, I didn't see Ant-Man and Wasp. I heard it's on Netflix.
Yeah, and I didn't see Ant-Man and Wasp either.
Ant-Man and Wasp is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
all
all,
those
I think
movies
they're
are
all
good.
Yeah, and that's why it didn't hit with you, because the later movies are so impactful on that movie. It
They
all
are.
ties in, so that's why.
I just maybe I just can't see, like, knowing the comic book characters and knowing the idea of the characters and like it. You know, like it's kind of like watching if you miss Raw for 2 weeks and then you watch pay-per-view and then like they kind of give you that rundown before and you're like, oh, of course this guy's gonna come out and run out and save the day. Like you knew that. Like,
Well,
like
I
you
mean,
knew the portal was their opening.
Going into every movie, the good guys are always going to win.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
Obviously, yeah.
There's one scene I hate in
kinda let that
Endgame.
go.
The one scene I hate in Endgame is right after the Hulk snaps and what's his face?
Spider-Man.
God damn it, the guy with the fucking bow and arrow.
Hawkeye.
When Hawkeye's phone rings and it's his wife, I hate that scene in hindsight because it tells you that everyone is back.
Yeah.
If he would have just snapped and then the Thanos attack happened and you didn't know what was going on, you didn't know if they were back or not, then the portal scene would have had a little more impact.
I
But
agree.
still, like in the theater, I thought it was just done so well. Like with the Sam coming on the comms after Infinity War, they had such a high bar to live up to that I thought they did it well personally.
No, I didn't hate the movie. I didn't dislike it at all. I definitely enjoyed it. I just wish Hulk was more of a fucking presence in this last couple of ones. Like
I wish he got his rematch with Thanos. Like I wish that for sure.
his rematch. It wasn't even a fight the first time. He beat the fuck out of Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Hulk.
That's
Hulk
one storyline I didn't like. I was like, the Hulk wouldn't be all scared.
he was
He'd
a
be,
punk.
He would want to go fight him even more now.
Yeah.
I
That
don't like
rage
it.
would
I
have just
agree with
I don't
that.
like
welled
that.
up in a woman all too.
I mean, there's-
Yeah.
and that
You literally put Bruce Banner in Hulkbuster suit.
Yeah.
Like
and
we paid for Hulk.
and Captain America would never leave all his friends to go live with some broad in the 50s.
I think with all the universal rights issues they have
Yeah.
with the Hulk, I think they didn't want to make him such a big.
That's what I
Present.
think it is too. Apparently, they can't make a solo Hulk movie yet. The rights for that they don't have.
Yeah.
They can only put him in other.
I do like
There-
how they made Hulk the version where he's like he's
Smart.
Hulk and
Yeah, I
he's
like that,
smart.
yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that version. Yeah.
Professor Hulk, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I
Yeah.
like that too.
New Rockstars actually did a cool breakdown though of the Thanos Hulk fight, and it actually does make you appreciate it a little more because it basically breaks down how the Hulk is a blind rage monster, but Thanos is very thought out and tactical, and they show exactly like frame by frame the moves that Thanos is using against Hulk. So I love that fight scene, but I wish he would have gotten his rematch as Smart Hulk when he's more tactical.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Any and I'm not defending this character because I'm not a fan of this character. But any person that tells me the Hulk would beat Superman in a fight, and then you show me that movie in the cinema, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm
Well,
like,
yeah.
no, your boy's getting fucked. If Thanos fucked your boy up, then,
Yeah, here comes Superman, who's
yeah.
like, yeah.
yeah.
But him actually getting beat in a fight isn't too crazy as far as his comic book story because
No.
he
Old-
needs to get more angry
old-
to get stronger.
well,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
his-
okay with
that's his-
losing.
that's
but
his
then
newer version,
You don't
but-
hide and cower then forever,
Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
unless
Yeah.
you're a bad guy.
Batman beat Hulk in the crossover comic. He kicked him in the chest.
Yeah,
and
I have the one that's
and
like
slowed his heart
super
rate
aggressive,
down or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, there's
But I
certain
do
things.
think Ragnarok. Sorry, I think Ragnarok did set up Hulk well as to why Hulk wants to hide, because he's tired of being he's tired of not getting any credit. Again, I don't mean to keep bringing him up, but New Rockstars does a great breakdown of how angry the Hulk gets every time they call him Banner instead of referring to him as the Hulk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't
I
like when
think-
they run two separate entities. I like when it's one person.
Yeah, I think they set a really good tone for Hulk early in the series, where like when Scarlett Johansson, I want to talk about her acting when he turns into Hulk on the ship, and she has that pure look of fear, like that's how you're supposed to react to the Hulk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That's one of the scenes they break down too, when she accidentally calls the Hulk Bruce and he turns into the Hulk because he's pissed because she called him Bruce.
yeah, they got away from that with Hulk, where he became more of a lovey teddy bear and not
In
so
like a
much this
comic
fucking
relief, yeah.
monster that he should be. Yeah.
I honestly think they thought they would get the rights from Universal early,
Yeah.
and then when they realized they weren't getting them, they toned them down.
Yeah,
Realistically, if they had the rights if Marvel had the rights to everything when this all started, this universe would have been a completely different universe, because they probably would have never even made an Iron Man
Wolverine
movie.
would have been Avengers 1.
Yeah.
The first movie would have been
It would have been
X-Men.
batshit crazy.
We would have never seen
Or
Guardians.
Spider-Man.
We
Yes.
never would have seen Guardians of the Galaxy. We probably would. It would have been a long time we see.
Probably would have got an X Factor movie for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't have
A
seen
lot of
Iron
the
Man
guys-
as a start. It would have been Iron Man.
No.
You would have seen Captain.
It would have been Spider-Man.
You would have seen Thor.
I think
Yeah.
Blade would have probably been a little bit well polished.
Who?
Blade.
No, Blade-
A Blade
Blade
movie would be
wouldn't
okay.
have-
Would have
no.
been all right. A little
If
bit
Disney
better.
owned
a little
Blade-
bit. Well, no, I'm just saying though. Like if Marvel had everything,
I don't think they would have involved
from the
Blade because
get-go.
that's a real deep cut.
I'm saying Marvel has everything and it's owned by Disney.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
and
okay,
it's
all right.
whenever Iron Man came out was that 2002
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
was
I completely
X-Men
agree with
Fantastic-
everything Anthony's saying
Yeah.
too, because a lot of these main characters would have been supporting characters in that
Yeah.
version.
Yeah,
there never would have been an Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Wolverine is supposed to be an Avenger pretty early on, and I think he has a pretty big role in like Civil War and
Who's that?
Wolverine.
and Wolverine.
Oh yeah, Wolverine. Yeah.
I mean, if they would,
Well,
that's
Civil
the
War
cash
is
cow.
completely based off of the X-Men. It's House of M.
Yeah.
The only thing,
Yeah.
honestly, when it comes down to it, I'm thinking like who would have been the first movie series?
Spider-Man,
It 100% would have been Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It would have been Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four.
and then Avengers.
Hulk
They
would have been
probably
there
did
too.
Captain
Hulk,
America.
Hulk would have been made. Thor would have been made.
What about Captain America?
Captain America would have
definitely
been
been made.
Iron Man would have came in later.
Yeah, I would say more Captain America before.
Unless it was
before Iron
when they
Man.
made it and then it was seen like a hit. And they were, oh, we got to put Robert
Yeah,
Downey even more.
Robert Downey Jr. as an actor would
So
have made.
what do you think will be first? X-Men, Fantastic Four. Which movie comes out first?
Fantastic
I'm
Four.
hoping X-Men.
Fantastic
X-Men,
Four.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking it might be Fantastic Four.
I say Fantastic Four first,
Yeah,
and then X-Men.
I mean they're both coming out.
Yeah,
And then
Drive me
who
crazy.
gets the first solo movie
out of the
out of any X-Men or
Captain America.
I'm Wolverine.
No, I
Do
don't
you
know.
think Wolverine or Deadpool?
Deadpool already has
I think
one.
of the
Wolverine.
X-Men.
Not in Marvel though.
I know they. It depends on what character hits. I mean, I know for a while they wanted to do a solo Gambit movie, but that
That
fell
ain't
through.
happening. Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll follow up on that now that they have it back, because Gambit is, I mean, amongst X-Men fans, very, very popular.
Yeah.
And they kept putting that on the back burner. Maybe now they'll finally do it.
But you can't put that out
No.
before the X-Men. That's like.
And on this topic,
No.
I'm glad they didn't have the rights. I love the way it played out, so I'm glad they didn't have the rights.
Yeah.
It kind of did make a good storyline, like a real life storyline.
Yeah.
It made so many underappreciated characters that much better and more
I
recognizable.
know.
I mean, Iron Man runs this universe.
I know a lot of people are saying if they do they recast X-Men, a lot of fan picks. I was even looking online. A lot of people want to change Professor X to a black character.
No,
Listen. I don't care.
I like Nick Fury worked.
Yeah.
But, like it doesn't work for everybody.
Exactly, and what makes Professor X that character, and what makes that whole idea of Professor X is he's a Jewish man. And
He's not
him and-
Jewish. Magneto is.
Well, I mean, how they knew each other in that like those times, like like how like it's stuff like that. Like it'd be tough.
Yeah, and
I think they're taking
he
the,
brings all the different races
origins.
together.
Yeah,
I think they're taking the origins of the X-Men comics too literal, because the origins of the X-Men comics are actually based off the race war. Professor X is based off of Dr. Martin Luther King, and Magneto's based off of Malcolm X.
Yep, 100%. Yeah.
So I think that's why they're taking the source material too literally, but they reinvented them in the comics because Magneto goes through the Holocaust, and that's such a huge part of his storyline then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't see them changing that about Magneto because that makes him who he is, and that's part of his foundation of a character.
The only way I can see them changing it is if they change the backstory too, with like a Magneto or a Charles.
Cool, a race war type thing, yeah.
Yeah, where like Magneto watched his parents get taken away from him through like slave trade or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, they even had that in the X-Men like animated series, then too, mutants versus humans and all that other stuff then too.
But
They
that's the
already
whole thing about
reflected-
X-Men.
But I'm just saying though,
Yeah.
they did it much later, down the. I mean, more prevalent in the '90s then too. They tried to get it.
If I had to pick, I kind of want Fantastic Four first. And I think they're going to go the Fantastic Four route because I think it's been hinted at more.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if it comes down to...
I think it's about time that people deserve a good Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, and it's a shame that Stan Lee just didn't see it. I think if it came down to what people need in society, because people do bite into these Marvel movies. They are very popular. People go out of their way to watch them. But one of the things that I don't think was really hit on in some of the X-Men movies, and I think... the one it did, where they kind of went back in time and redid the whole history.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
Covered a 3.
Yeah, where
Days of Future Past,
Yeah.
you mean, or the other
Days
one,
of Future
where they
Past.
touched on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
one of the main things that I think, and even why how Ben was kind of, or Matt was kind of saying, with the reason X-Men was created was to bring people together and show them, no matter what your race, religion, color, orientation, disability, anything, we are all human, and we all should be together as one.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge thing that our nation and our world needs. And if they're really going to make an X-Men movie, they really got to hit that home. Because when
It's hilarious too. It's hilarious too when people say the Marvel movies are too woke. Their origins are woke. They were super woke for their time.
Yeah.
They were 60 years ahead of the woke movement.
Yeah, go read the Green Lantern, Green Arrow from the 70s.
Yeah.
If you want woke comics.
Yeah.
And then they say that comic books rot your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what I think Fantastic Four will be first, but I would like an X-Men movie first.
Yeah.
But what can you do? Either way, I'll be happy.
I would give X-Men a little bit of a break just to let people forget about that last series.
But I mean, there's that whole thing like, well,
Dark Phoenix
that's
is so
not
bad.
this. That's not this. So I think people know that.
Yeah.
Like, people knew that Michael Keaton Batman wasn't part of Batman vs.
Well, he
Superman.
turned into Vulture then. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys know what happened to Dark Phoenix? Why it was so bad though? So they made Dark Phoenix so bad based off Captain Marvel coming out. They thought it was too similar, so they reshot almost the entire movie. And you can tell when you watch it, it is horrendous. Like, Jessica Chastain in the original version played a completely different character than she ends up playing. So it is a completely different movie.
I remember seeing the trailer, and I was like, this doesn't look awful.
That's what I thought, but I didn't see it, so I can't
Yeah.
say.
I
But
didn't see
everything
it
I
either.
heard is it's not good.
Yeah.
It is shit times 10. Wait until you see it.
Oh boy.
I know a lot
That's
of people.
a shame because that's one of the story arcs.
A lot of people didn't like
Well,
the one with
the Raven
Apocalypse
is
in
such
it.
an awesome character too.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
When the X-Men first
Dark
hit theaters,
Phoenix, I mean.
I was like, okay, X-Men. I kind of dig the first X-Men movie that came out. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
Back in the
I
day.
like them a lot, except for the Deadpool thing.
And then at the very like the first time we actually get like an end scene thing is when like you see the shadow of the Phoenix underneath the water, and I was like, oh my god.
But that was which one was that?
That was the first or second X-Men movie, like the first generation.
The second one where
Yeah.
where they go to the lake after she
Okay,
died.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is okay because you can hint.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my
One-
god.
one
like,
good,
It fired
two-
me up for a second.
1 was good, 2 was really good, 3 was horrible.
I just remember being in the theater and like that, and it was just I was mostly in the movie theater with people who were not comic book fans.
Yeah, so you wouldn't get it.
And I just remember watching it, and I seen the bird, and I was like, holy fuck, that's Phoenix.
And
That's
they
Phoenix.
weren't-
And people were like, what's wrong with you? I'm
They
like,
weren't trained to. Oh, here comes the scene that's going to lead into the next
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Now they are.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
I did hear that they changed the story around with like how she became Dark Phoenix and things. Is that true?
Yeah, it's sort of, but the main premise of everything, including the Phoenix Force, is changed because they said it's too much like when Captain Marvel goes binary. So they changed the Phoenix
Yeah.
Force They changed the villains. They changed Jessica Chastain's character, who's a good actress but terrible in this movie. Like they fucked it up so bad.
Wow.
Oh, that's awful.
All right. Well, we are getting a little long here. Anything else you guys want to talk about or plug before we get out of here?
Last thing quick, because I know Brig is going to be happy about it. I finished Supernatural. I'm all caught up on that.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna
awesome.
we're gonna skip what we watched or got into this week. So if you keep a side note on that for possible next week, because we are at the 2-hour mark there. Ben, you have anything you want to plug?
Bangin' Beers is still going strong.
Brand new episode out.
Brand new episode,
New
yeah.
t-shirt.
What's that?
And
New t-shirt, right?
new t-shirt idea too.
Yeah, new
that's
t-shirt.
on there as well with the NC Power,
Yeah.
the NC Power symbol.
Yeah, and the Bangin'
logo.
Beers ribbon looking shirt. We can't really say what it is.
The Bangin' Beers
Ribbon.
ribbon.
The ribbon shirt. Yeah. Yeah. Check that out.
The BBR.
Yeah, the BVR shirt. Matt, you got anything?
No, I think that now that I've done this podcast on this platform, I don't know why the fuck everyone's using Zoom, because I thought this went smoothly, but that's about it.
There's a few times where you got a little choppy, but for the most part, I think it worked a lot
I
better
think-
having less people on the phone.
Yeah, I think that the Facebook Messenger works fine though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it works good too.
I have nothing to plug.
Nothing. Pro wrestling tees, but we'll talk about that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like the pro wrestling because
Yeah.
say the pro wrestling show.
Yeah, we'll go check out Tornado Tech
Yeah,
podcast.
there you go, if you
Oh,
like wrestling.
Ben was talking about Bangin' Beers. There's a new episode out right now. We did an interview with with Nate, who is the one of the head guys over at Porden, PA, which is a documentary
And then turned docu-series.
Well, actually, I think it's a documentary / film. It's a film, and it's on Amazon Prime, and it's all about the local beer scene in our area. And they're really, really welcoming. Like, I didn't think they would have ever reached out to us. Like, I sent them out a message like, "Hey, do you want to do an interview?" And he's like, "You want to do it today?" And I was like,
What?
Okay,
Yeah,
sure, yeah.
100%.
Ben, come over.
They didn't plug it today, and I told them that that's fine because they release an episode. Because we were told that we're going to release it Wednesday or Thursday, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to release it today because if I can get a few more people to go watch the live watch party that's on Facebook today, I'm going to do so. And then when I released it, he released a podcast. One of the podcasts he did recently just dropped today,
yeah, I don't-
and then they had to promote the watch party that Yingling is hosting for them.
Yeah.
So like Yingling put a thing, like pretty much took the rights to the movie for a day and put it on Facebook. So I said, dude, don't worry about plugging it today. Even if you just plug it tomorrow or Thursday, I don't care. He's like, yeah, no problem. Very, very nice guy, but definitely go check out that interview. Yeah, and then this week we're going to shoot Tornado Tag. Hopefully Andy joins me again. I don't think we'll get probably just be me and
Yeah.
you. Which listen, having one or two people at the table definitely frees up a little bit, which is nice. So, yeah, so that'll be it. Bree, I come to you. Do you have anything to plug?
No, not right now.
All right, cool. That'll wrap it up for Not Cool in High School. We'll see you guys next week. And I don't know. I was gonna say something witty and catchy, but I
Fucking
can't.
prosper.
Stay safe, everyone.
Yes, stay safe. And what was Stan Lee's thing? Because we talked a lot of Marvel.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Didn't he have another one though? Like a.
Just the Jerry Springer thing. Take care of yourself and each other.
And each other. And spade and neuter your pets.
Oh God.
Bob Barker.